Hello? Hi, everyone. Just in time, right? That countdown ended, didn't it? Hey, welcome to Live Things. Live War in Labora. Last second. Shirt change. Village issue. Hey, that's not what this is about. This is about monks and stuff. And farming and building and priors and money. Hi, everyone. People already in the chat. Hello? Hi, Janway. Molly? Paul? Nice to see you here. We are live with some good music. Is it all working? I think it's all working. I don't think I'm muted this time. Bit out of breath. The panic's running. But hey, we'll be all alright, won't we? If you're joining me on a nice sunny hot day, I'm going to really test the limits of temperature in this room. Hi, Christos, from America. Early in America, right? I'm going to try and... I don't know if I'll be able to do one or two next week, but at least one of the playthroughs next week will be live, and I'll do it at a later time, 8 a.m. Not too bad. Early morning farming. I'm going to try and do one in the evening here, so it'll be a more reasonable time in the day. In the US of States. 9 a.m. Eastern. I think now we've gone forwards. I think we're an hour extra behind, so in, say, Seattle, that Pacific? I don't know things. On the other side of America, it's like 6 a.m. now, I think, or 7? I don't know. Why do I get into the things that I don't know about? So, we are here. We are set up for a solo game. You might be able to see, I'm not sure how clear the text is from this zoomed out position. I have a bit of a funky copy of Aura et Labora. Well, I say funky. It's French. Aura et Labora, when I was, all excitable and fairly new to board games and devouring playthroughs and especially Rado runs-throughs like nobody's business. The games that escaped me and were well out of print, I tried my best to get. It worked out for things like Troyes and Russian railroads. I managed to get a hold of. Never owned Macau. Never managed to get a hold of a copy of Aura et Labora. Whereas now it's quite available, isn't it? I think a new printing of the reprint has happened quite recently, and you can get it about 60 quid, but you can get it quite easily now. Yes, Rado is the source of many crying wallets, as I've been since. Someone commented the other day, actually. But yeah, so this is, if we zoom in on some of the things, say we zoom in on the buildings, see that this was back in the days when I was excitable and had time to do all of this stuff. And so I have pasted up loads of this stuff as best I can. I think it's like, downloading all of the sleeved cards. They have to be, because they're most of them have paste ups on them. And what's disappointing that I realised, we look in there is an Irish and a French variant built into the box of Aura et Labora. I never finished the French version, so I've never played the French version of Aura et Labora because I never finished it. And since do not have all of those paste ups and stuff, I would have to do it all again. It's one of those things where I've thought before. It's been so long since I played Aura et Labora. I don't really remember that much stuff. Should I keep it? Well, who's going to want this pasted up, this mangled version? But hey, the core of the game is still here, and we'll be able to play it no problem, right? It's just the name of buildings and stuff, and you'll have to brush up on your French for hills and coast and plains and stuff, but so will I. French teacher's so disappointed with how much I've forgotten. Hi, Paul. Sleeved cards, yeah, paste ups. The French version's got wine, right, and it's got extra stone buildings and stuff. But yeah, in my hasty research, I think Jeremy's got the latest edition. I think it's pretty much the same. I think art, but same as Agricola actually stuff did change, didn't it? Although the cards changed. But in Aura et Labora, I think as with Agricola, the art was tweaked a little bit, not massively, but it's been redone. There's an extra sheep on the cover, but the core game and stuff and all the cards and everything, I think, is the same. And as with a load of these things. This whenever I open a box of a game I haven't played in ages and ages, back in the days when I really wanted loads of organisation on things, less excitable than leisure excitement. Oh, there's always excitement for things, but I am much less susceptible to buy all of the games and play all of the games. I still want to, but I'm less trigger happy with just going for it and filling shopping baskets with things, because there's so much I've got to play already. And yeah, when am I going to get around to it? If I do get around to it, will it just be one play and then moved on? But then I miss out on things like I never played Maracaibo and Taverns of Tiefenthal, for example, from that 2019 video that I did, and I'm catching up on those now. I've been repeatedly told how wrong I was to miss out on those. Cup of tea to help us through 12th century, ages ago century, Monkitude. So in this game, in the solo game, it's broadly the same. What I'm doing is broadly the same as what you'd be doing in a multiplayer game. We do have a neutral player because part of this is placing workers on your own things, but you can also pay other players to make them place their workers on their buildings for you. So you get the effects of those instead. And a big reason, kind of refreshing my memory as well, big reason why Rach wouldn't have liked this game. Rach really does not like games where you use other people's things. Just purchased Dungeon Pets thanks to your playthrough. I haven't played that since the playthrough. I love Dungeon Pets. Really liked. Yeah, getting people to I found it to be a bit of a hard sell. That like, no, we're breeding pets and stuff. Don't worry, it's a really heavy Euro game. Oh well, that's two things that I'm not interested in. Makata solo, I think so. I did the playthrough 2 players, didn't I? I'm not sure that I have played it solo. I haven't for a long time played At the Gates of Loyang solo. That's got its lovely grid system for the solo cards. I'll have to do that for one of these streams at some point. One of the impetuses for doing this is that the top 10 topic that's been voted for this month, well, it's going to be next month now, but that's going to be filmed very soon, is top 10 Uwe Rosenberg games, which I've got a pretty solid standing on the list for, but even the ones that I don't have anymore, I've got a pretty clear picture in my mind. Or at Labora, it's probably been more years since I've played it, so we will have to refresh our memory now and find out what's going on. Yeah, Makata is another one of those that I, like Russian Railroads and Bruges and stuff, I just dropped on in auctions on BGG that they have in the forums or the Geek Market and stuff. I used to be constantly refreshing those things, looking for those games that I couldn't find, and Makata was just one that popped up one day. I think that's an English I've got. But yeah, if you some of these games like Macau and or at Labora, it's a lot of pasting up to be playable, but worth it. Yeah, they're fantastic games, especially Macau, with every second. But they will come out again eventually, won't they? There's the Queen Games version of Macau. I can't remember what the new name is for it. Amsterdam is the new Bruges, right? Anyway, this is about Aura at Labora. So, oh yes, join the Patreon. Everyone, why not? It's down here. Where can I point to that? Oh, that's awkward. Changing angles. If you'd like to help me keep making these things, patreon.com/slickerdrips. The Patreon is the reason that I am here and available to do a live playthrough. And we need more technologies, don't we? We need more cameras. We need more lights and things to make them all better and clearer. Uwe and Ignacy. Ignacy is a great designer as well. Or walk from Essensfield 2 miles back to the hotel with 8 copies of Makata. Is that when it came out? Because everyone was after it. Right, so what am I doing in this? We can see various things out here. My player board, for example. Got to it, right? There we go. We have 3 buildings to start with, and the neutral player has those as well. We have our farm, our cloister building, or the Bureau de Monastère, and the clay mound. I won't try to pronounce that. Queen? But yes, put me on Patreon so I can buy Paul's wants list and get to all of these games. Someone in my Discord, another thing that's just been added to the Patreon. Well, maybe it'll open up more later. I don't know what it is quite yet. There's a Discord on there. We're having a bit of a chat about Too Many Bones. I'm sad that I don't have too many bones anymore. That's a whole nother can of worms to get into to get all of that trove chest and stuff. Make a trove chest for all the games. I want all of them then. So yes, we have those buildings to start with, and we also have a load of peat bogs, of forests that we can fell for wood and stuff. This is all of the stuff that we can do at the start of the game. There is a display of buildings. You press the button that says building. Genius. These are the starting buildings that we will be able to build here. Now, something about Aura et Labora is that there are those two variants that do have their own buildings. The cards are all two-sided and different things depending on what you're playing. But it's the same cards every time. There's no shuffling of cards and stuff. It's all the ones available for those phases. You'll find plenty of variability based on the way the players go and stuff. But yeah, the buildings are always the same. It's why is YouTube why is YouTube censoring like and subscribe? Do those things. Don't censor those things. Look at that severe parting. I've got to get my hair out of my eyes. Ended up in this choir boy fashion. But yeah, people were disappointed with Makata. I think that I obviously wasn't around at the time Makata came out, but that seems to be the prevailing opinion of it, that it was one of those forgotten Uwe games. Yeah, I've got to get them all eventually. I'm not sure that I've played them all. I've missed out on some of the latest. I'm not trying to be dismissive. Versions of Nova Luna. There are games that have kind of based on that, aren't they? Re-implementations of that, and some of the newer Polyomino games. New York Zoo? Was that an Uwe Rosenberg? I haven't played that yet. Something with Cloud Age. I haven't played Cloud Age. I think that plays into me not playing Maracaibo either. Do I need to get back onto Cloud Age as well? It's a different thing. Yeah, Makata is not like any of the other Uwe Rosenberg games. But I really like its crazy not time signals. It's crazy time functions. And yeah, Aura et Labora still plays differently, still has its own things, but is that core of Clemens Franz art, of farming, of building, of getting resources and things. And upgrading them. Yeah, Sagani, that's one of the ones that's kind of newer version of. Hello, Michael. You haven't missed much. Well, we're just talking about Uwe Rosenberg games. We're about to start. We're talking about Makata. Makata's overlookedness. Christos, 11-year-old watched your review of Bob Ross Art of Chill. Now she wants to buy it. Oh, well, she is very welcome. Bob Ross Art of Chill is lovely. It is buried in a shelf at the moment, but I still have Bob Ross Art of Chill. Very light game, but beautiful. And I did my best Bob Ross impression. Well, I didn't do the voice, but I did my best reenactment of the start of a Bob Ross episode for that playthrough. That was great. We should do a Q&A. I haven't done one for ages. Now we've got all of this live set up permanently. Yeah, Rach might join us for one of these at some point as well. We were discussing whether we were going to do we're trying to start Midara again, fresh from my 2019 video as well. And yeah, I'm now in the mode of live stream everything. Let's live stream making the dinner. And Rach kind of like, well, I'd like to just be able to play it whenever and take our time and not have to worry that I'm on camera. Fair enough. She'll be in some playthrough at some point. Hey, the Easter break's there. Yeah, Paul's Q&A is tonight. Big plug. Ask Paul questions. Ask Paul questions all relating to Makata and Aura et Labora. No plug emoji. Maybe you got to do the super chat. Supercharge your chat for that. So what are we doing here? We have a little player aid. I think you can just about see. over the course of a round, we are going to take all of our clergymen back if they aren't available. We have a prior and 2 apprentices, 2 little fellas. They can go on places and take actions. They can go on buildings, get us resources, eventually convert things, do all sorts of crazy stuff. We will be rotating this production wheel, and this is what a lot of the buildings relate to, a lot of the cards relate to, over the course of the game. So we can do the first couple of steps. I haven't placed all of my workers. I don't get them back. The production wheel rotates. You can see from the arrow, it turns anti-clockwise here. And as if by magic, you can see that all of these resources now, there are 2 of them available, 2 of them out in the ether. We have, in the solo game, we don't have wine because we're not playing the France variant, but we also don't have a stone marker on here. There is things later on that will relate to stone. We do have this joker here, this orange square, that can be anything. But everything else relates to resources, clay, wood, livestock, all of that lovely Uwe goodness. So when you come over to a building, let's look at my buildings. When you come over to a building to activate them, so say at the farm, we can either get wheat or sheep, and the amount we get depends on what's available on that wheel. So say I was to come here and get wheat, so a wheat for every wheat marker that's on the wheel, I would get myself 2 wheat, and then that marker comes down to 0 now. But the longer I leave them, the more stuff gets built up to 10. There is a special thing in the solo game where if the wheel would kind of lap these resources, if the wheel would come back around, then you lose that marker from the game forever. So you've got to be aware of that you don't run out of something, or that you're prepared to. So get this arm out of the way. Hi, Danielle. It's a classic Uwe Rosenberg game. It's probably quite old now, isn't it? They got a reprint fairly recently, but I bet that was a couple of years ago now. Maybe one of the ones that isn't shouted about as much, but we're going to see if it should be shouted about more. So I've done the wheel. I've got my things back. Now we check if there's a settlement phase. That happens if the wheel picks this little blue house. There's not going to be one of those for ages yet. We've got some time to take actions. We play by the same rules as in a 2-player game for the solo game. You take 2 actions before we rotate the wheel again. And then, if we were playing a multiplayer game, the start player changes and stuff. But it's just me here. We do have our neutral player. Come over to him. He's got the same setup as me, minus the peat and the trees and stuff, because he isn't really playing, and you can't use other people's cards like that. He does start off with this card that wouldn't normally be in the game, this Builder's Market, which is only in a 4-player game usually. He does start off with that, and I can make him come over here to spend 2 coins to convert it into all of this goodness. Builder's Market's quite generous, but we've got to get some money first. And there are a lot of ways of getting money. There are just coins, but other resources can be worth money as well. See in the corner how much value they're worth. What else can I be thinking about? I've got these settlements here. When we have a settlement phase, I'm going to be building one of these settlements. And you need food, you need energy to build those rather than building resources normally. These can be any resources rather than specific ones, but they've got to reach the values that you need. These are going to give you points at the end of the game based on what they are adjacent to. If you look on the buildings in the display here, you see they've got a points value here. This is just how much the building is going to be worth. The cloister courtyard here is just worth 4 points. But if it's adjacent to a settlement, so adjacent, not diagonally, you can get 4 extra points. So it's all about being aware that, the stone merchant, it's worth a load of points. You probably don't care whether it's next to a settlement, though, because it's only worth 1 extra point for being next to there. The coal kiln, we definitely don't want that near settlements. You would lose 2 points for doing that. So there's a lot about trying to get a production chain going, trying to make the most out of your actions and your resources and stuff, but also the positioning of all of your things, because they can only go in empty spaces. And so you've got to kind of visualize where stuff's going to go. We can buy more plots later on, well, at any point in the game. There is a bit of a twist in the solo game, though, that usually they start out very, very cheap and get more and more expensive. In the solo game, though, they start out very, very expensive and will eventually get cheap if we buy tons of them. But yeah, we're a bit more limited to the space that we have available here. I've done all of the start stuff, and I get to do 2 actions. And I can, like in the multiplayer game, I can make the neutral player take an action for me. But to do that, I need to pay him a coin, or later on in the game, pay 2 coins, or give them a present. The Irish version of the game is whiskey. But in a multiplayer game anyway, when you give them whiskey, the whiskey gets drunk straight away, so the other player doesn't benefit from the coins and stuff. Hi, Danielle. Adding this to your wish list. Oh yeah, Agricola. We've got to do Agricola at some point. It's another one that's like Horror at Labora. Never done a playthrough for, but Agricola is one of my favourite games ever. Agricola, probably still my favourite Uwe Rosenberg game. We'll find out when I finalise the list for this video. But yeah, absolutely fantastic. So, what should we do? We've got all of these things available to build. Kind of look through a pattern of those. They have to be in certain places. So a houseboat, I'm not going to be able to build yet because we would have to have built some sea. It's obviously got to go out into the sea. So we're not going to be able to get to that for a while. We could build something like the Stone Merchant, very cheap to get out. Give some food and some energy and start to get some stone from that. Not from anything that's on the wheel, but just get stone resources. That's another little difference in the solo game, is that I don't start with anything. See, my player aid here tells me, oh, you're starting and basic goods. Solo game, start out with nothing. Feast for Odin is Paul's number 1. Yeah, I think Feast for Odin and Agricola are going to be battling it out. Certainly. Feast for Odin is amazing. So yeah, I can place a clergyman on my turn, use a building, or I can make him use a building. And I can fell trees or cut peat. These work in the same way. So you see there, I can fell trees for an action, get rid of this card from my player board, and based on where the wood marker is on the wheel, get that much wood in tokens. And as you get more and more of these boards, you will get more of those cards on them. 1 peat and 2 trees for this one. Start off with this side. That's only got 1 tree on it, but got a hilly space. Got 2 hilly. You can decide. It costs the same amount. You decide which side it goes on there. So yes, I can activate a building. I can cut peat, stroke fell trees without using a worker for that. Or I can build a building. So obviously I'm not going to be building a building straight away. Gotta look at what I'm going to be going for. Hi, Mikhail. Afternoon. He's throwing. Yeah, there is a new expansion on the horizon, isn't there? It's been following that thread for a while. I imagine things have been delayed and stuff. With all of the craziness, yeah, there is meant to be an expansion on the way. Really have the drink on my left-hand side, shouldn't I? Yes, Danes is the expansion to Feast for Odin. I'm just saying Danes randomly out of here. So, what should I be looking towards? We can get a peat coal kiln. More difficult to say than I thought it was going to be. For that, I need some clay, which I can get from my clay mound over here. So I could get myself, 2 clay, and then I could build something like the peat coal kiln or the malt house. Later on, get some wheat and turn that into, what is it? It's hops or something. It's dust. It's some dusting up and some straw. And later on, move to getting something like the brewery or the false lighthouse or something. The first turn is just going to be getting resources, isn't it? That's all we're going to really be able to do. So I think in the first round, I haven't got any coins or anything at the moment. So let's grab some clay. So I need to go to my clay mound. Now there is a difference between your normal just apprentices and your prior over here. Your prior is special because when you build a building, if your prior is available, you can take the action of that building straight away. He just zooms right there. So get a bit more efficiency in your actions. And later on, in the settlement phase, which isn't going to happen for quite a while, as we saw on the wheel, when we get to the settlement phase, the dummy player is going to build everything that I didn't build. And if his prior is available, then I get a free action as well. Rodin is on my list, but I don't have the tail space. Yes, Feast for Odin is a monster of tail space. Well, I thought that with what was the other Uwe Rosenberg game very recently? I can't remember. I thought Uwe Rosenberg has got no respect for your table space. Feast for Odin is massive, and then the expansion makes it even bigger. Adds another big resource tray you've got to have out there, islands and stuff everywhere. It's crazy. Some men go out drinking with their mates and talk about football. Get excited by saying Pete Cole kill. It's harder than you'd think, isn't it? So I'm going over here. I'm getting some clay. I'm on the wheel already. That's why I can't see. That's why I can't see the name of it. So I'm getting some clay. I'm going to move the resource back down, which is going to get me 2 clay pieces that from my amazing organizer I can almost see to grab and pop them over here. Fields of Arla, that's what I was thinking about, because that's the one that's gone up for patrons now. I filmed that last week. That's the latest video live for patrons on Patreon right now. Go and see that surprisingly quick playthrough. And Scrumpy on the way soon, and Anno 1800. Great things, but we're also live. So I've done that. I've got myself some lovely clay, the start of my resources. And what do I want to do next? So I could now go straight to building a building for my second action. But do I want to do other things instead? If you look at the building display over here, I could now just go straight out and buy the Malt house. But I want to buy something that I can get use out of, right? I want to have things that I can use and combine all of these beautiful things. There is, the cloister courtyard. If I get 3 different goods, that's all I need. I can get 6 identical basic goods. Come over to my player board. These are the basic goods over here. Really have memorized the names for all of the things. I'm terrible for that in games. Uwe are perfect for solos, and I think I've gotten better and better as well. I do like that there's like a campaign going on in Agricola, but for the game itself, you're in a worker placement game just by yourself, and so everything is free for you to go to. There is a nice puzzle in there, but I do like in, say, the later ones where it's like Feast for Odin, for example, where you alternate between the colours, and so you are blocking spaces off for yourself, and you've got to factor that into your planning. Well, hasn't got Fields of All. Well, I only got it back recently, again, because of requests. I do listen to all of the requests. And, yeah, we owned it at one point, and I can't remember why we ended up selling it. I don't think Rach liked it, but I don't know why I didn't really like it that much solo, because I've got it back again. And I really, really enjoyed it. I've got the expansion as well, which, another thing that's completely seems to be out of print at the moment. My copy had to come from America. Got all taxed and stuff. How come I have a French game with an English player aid? I printed it off, but on looking around Board Game Geek today, in preparation for this, see if there was any good player aids and summaries and stuff available that could help me out, I was surprised that it's harder than before as well to find, say, just the rule books and stuff, because I wonder if they're on Lookout's website actually, because at the time there was some fusion of, like, they all used to be Z-Man and then they stopped being printed by Z-Man and stuff, but these would have been on Board Game Geek or something at some point. That's where I would have found all of this stuff from. The paste ups I had to make myself. I downloaded the fonts and stuff to try and make it match up, and it was just printed on some cheap colour paper. So yeah, I had all the player aids reminding me stuff. I couldn't see it on there because I wanted it up on the to be able to bring it up on the screen and stuff. But yeah, I'm not sure where it is now. I haven't got any of those files or anything anymore. Yeah, they should make all of that stuff available. It'd be nice if it was just like a page on the rulebook. I'm on. I haven't got them up on screen or anything, but I should have them to my side. Like loads of different tabs with one random website had the easy rulebook, another one had the more detailed rulebook. I haven't found the complicated rulebook yet. I've got another thing to show you the dedication and obsession. Having all of these things, keep all these rulebooks in. This is a terrible way of having the rulebooks. Why did I do this? You can't open the pages enough to see all the text in there, so things were completely useless. So on Lookout games now. Oh, good. Yeah, Lookout. Put them on. Put them on Board Game Geek. Put your rulebooks on Board Game Geek. Have that as our one-stop shop. Lookout are good for making things available there. So I've got clay. What am I going to do with this clay? I don't know. I could go and build the peat coal kiln now, because it would get me some resources. It would get me some charcoal and a money, which is, you know, starting me out on the way, on the journey to maybe being able to. Well, it would give me the coin to be able to use that builder's market, get me a load of resources. All right, no, I'd need 2 more coins to use the builder's market. But additionally, if you've got some wood, you can turn that into charcoal for going there as well. Maybe that would be good later on. Get myself some wood, say from a houseboat, but houseboats are expensive. I could get, you know, like false lighthouse, but again, that has to be on the coast. I would need 7 coins to be able to get that. That's probably going to be, yeah, I need money to expand territory. It's going to be very expensive. I've got 3, but I think there's a couple of rulebooks together. I think there's like a setup sheet and then 3 rulebooks. Yeah, lots and lots of stuff. Colonists somewhere as well. Colonists is fantastic, but yeah, does to get the full experience, which at its best if you've like started from nothing and built all your way through all of the eras. But yeah, it's a massive, massive, massive game. Fantastic. That's one of my early playthroughs. Fondly remembered. I've pressed a button. So there are just fractions of resources available. If I wait and build something else, I will be able to just... I would get 3 resources for all of my stuff if I wait around to do it. Yeah, everything is quicker than Colonist. Spaghetti. I actually like the live playthroughs. I'm on a Rosenberg binge, aren't I? It's leading up to that top 10. But yeah, there is a lot at the moment, and it's kind of, I noticed this week is kind of a continuation of Uwe Rosenberg stuff and Vital Lacerda stuff. Because Kanban just went live yesterday, I think Kanban EV, and I'm not really sure why. Nobody particularly asked for it, but when I was thinking of stuff to do live playthroughs for, I just kept thinking, I really want to play the Gallerist. I haven't played the Gallerist for ages. Can you think of something else? What about the Gallerist? I haven't played that for ages. But I'm really, really enjoying the live playthroughs. Yeah, Through the Ages. That's one that maybe I should get back. Through the Ages would be good on the app though as well. I've spent a lot of time thoroughly playing the app over and over and over again. Not particularly ever getting good at it, but yeah, I don't mind playing rats and stuff against AI players, 2 players. Not so good about. Well, Lisboa based on the playthrough. Amazing. Lisboa is another one I should go back to. There's a lot of games you can track back to. When's the last time that I played it? When did the playthrough go up? I don't think that I've played Lisboa since then. It's been a couple of years ago now, hasn't it? Or Labora is number 3 between East Froden and Fields of Arle. Good position. Prestigious position. So I think maybe I don't want to build these things yet. Let's get some resources. Let's build up some things. Now, since getting wood or peat loses that card, maybe I should get something else instead. Maybe I should just get some coins. But again, if they build up, then that's a lot better. Build the peat coal kiln, get 1 coin. I could get 2 coins from the cloister building. Then I can use his builder's market and get me a load of resources that I can then use for other things. I think let's go to the... If we go to the farm, we will have resources that we can then use at the malt house. And then the resources you get from the malt house can later be used in the brewery to start making beer. And then you can sell a beer for 7 coins. That is going to be the way that that I start being able to afford land, isn't it? So it would be best to get some wheat before I build the malt house. I'm going to need some stone to build the brewery, which I can get 1 stone from the builder's market on the dummy player's sheet here. The other stone, the only other way of getting stone is from the stone merchant, isn't it? Go back to the building display. The only other way of getting stone right now is from him. So I'm going to have to build that. It needs me to get wood. Right. Maybe I'll get some wood now then. So my second action is going to be only on my second action. So if you're waiting back this later and you want a swift playthrough, I'm taking my time with these decisions clearly. So yes, I'm gonna fell trees. So that card just goes away. And going back to the wheel, the wood marker goes back down to 0, and I get myself a couple of pieces of wood, which do provide energy, which I need for the settlement phase, depending on what buildings I want to build. I need at the stone merchant, if I'm going to be building that, I need food and heat to be able to convert into stones to be able to buy all of these things. Godzilla versus Kong. Oh, me versus Paul in Through the Ages. Paul would wipe the floor with me, especially if he beat Velada. I just got Lisboa and the Gallerist. Amazing combo. Well, I'm playing the Gallerist on Friday. Yes, it's Friday, isn't it? Jumping back into that. Try and get the top rank. I don't think I ever did that. Plus, I'm far too games like the Ages. Although Through the Ages is definitely not that mean. There are mean things in it. I'm going to try Kanban on Boîte à Jus. Yeah, I just did a video on Kanban. I think it's just about to get to retail and stuff, so maybe it'll get to normal prices and things now. So I've had my 2 actions, haven't I? We go back to my player aid. I've had my 2 actions. Yep. Game isn't going to end. But we go to the start of my turn again. Everyone, take your clergyman back, if necessary. It's not. Rotate the production wheel. So come back to the wheel. Rotate this. There are now 3 of all of these things available, and 2 wood and clay available. So they jump right back up. Is it time to build a building now then? I don't really want to build the stone merchants unless I've got food. And yeah, wheat is food. But if I want a load of stone, if I want 2 stone, what am I going to need here? I need 2 stone and a straw. Straw's no problem. I can get that from the malt house. But at the stone merchants, to get 2 stone, I need 4 food and 2 heat. So the bottom line is I just need more things. That's really the bottom line, isn't it? Livestock, though, be my source of food, can't they? Where's their token? Here they are. Livestock are 2 food. So I could get 3 of those right now for coming back to the farm. But I do want to use the farm to get wheat. Ugh. We're all stuck for everything. Right now anyway, I'm going to build the malt house. That's my 2 clay, which I have got right here. I'll pay that. And where do I want to put it? This is quite nice to be next to things. 4 points for adjacency. Not as good as the brewery, which is 7. But, you know, you can be planning out where are you going to put your settlement. You're going to put it there, and then it's next to a 3 and a 4 pointer. Not the best, but quite decent. But there is another thing to think about in your adjacencies. Cloister buildings, these yellow ones here, these yellow borders, are cloister buildings. You have to build those adjacent to other cloister buildings as well. So if I can get more boards later, but I would cut myself off if I put anything there right now from getting more cloister buildings. So is that where the malt house is going? I think so, for now. So I can immediately... Oh, no, I haven't got wheat, though, have I? Oh, take back city. First of all, I am going to go and get some wheat. If we look at the wheel, there is 3 wheat available. So I can grab myself 3 wheat tokens. And then, second action, I can go and build my malt house. Pop it there. And then my prior comes over for free because my prior was available. And I can just convert, there is no limit to any of this, I can just convert wheat into hops and straw. There is a free action, by the way, you can turn wheat into straw. It's the only thing you're allowed to just flip. Actually, a lot of money. Oh, you watch Valeria playthroughs? Oh yeah, there's the... It just finished the great big Valeria reprint, Valeria Card Kingdoms thing. I wanted all of the things from that, but postage in our sad little UK situation, not good these days. But Valeria's amazing. I got my wheat. Am I going to convert it all? What am I going to do? Checking out my the names of all of the things here to check I'm doing the right thing. Malt is the name of the resource I'm supposed to be. I do need wheat left over if I want to make beer, but that's a bit of a ways off, isn't it? I do want it for food and stuff, but no, I'm gonna convert it all. See how clever that was gonna be. Yeah, you can also freely convert a 5x1 coin into 5 1 coins into a 5 coin, and the other way around if you want to. And you can sell whiskey for 2 coins as well. So basically, these flip over. These become straw now. So I'm converting them here. And I also get 3 malt, which is food. I have not soloed Ginkopolis recently. I have not played Ginkopolis for a long time. The new one does look fancy, though. I've got the old version. So what... If I leave that up, it'll tell me the names of the resources. So I've had my 2 actions now, haven't I? I got myself some straw, some wheat. I turned all of that wheat into malt. Ah, the clue is in the name Malt House. I turned it into malt and straw. So that's the end of the turn. At the start of the turn, all players take your own clergyman back if they are all doing something. So I get all of those back. Then at the wheel, I can drag that back. Now we have 4. Wait a minute. Has a stone marker. This. Is that just nothing? Took that out thinking it was a stone marker, but it's not, is it? That's the stone marker. Check my setup files here. Paul. Who knows? Check my wooden components. Yeah, 9 goods indicators. Scrolling up in the chat instead. Oh, that's Pete, isn't it? Yes. Pete should be on there. Hi, Pete. Stone should not be on there. I just took the grey one off, assuming it was stone. So we've got 4 Pete. 4 Pete. Livestock. Oh, we could get a lot of livestock now. And the farm is available again. Back to my actions. The aim of the game, by the way, in the solo, is to get 500 points. Switch to not had much need of it yet. Switch to the sad other camera. Here are some previous attempts from many, many years ago. 460, 452. Never got to the giddy heights of 500 though. There were other sheets. I can pretend that other sheets would have been 500, right? The sheets that I threw away. So it's a new round, a new day. We've got all of our clergymen back. We've got all of our buildings available. I want to work towards this brewery. So something to buy is going to be the stone merchant. Before I buy it though and get my free use out of it, I want to have heat and food. Now I want to save the malt and get some more wheat when I activate my brewery. I need a straw saved to build the brewery. I need a wood saved to build the stone merchant. So this stuff is up for grabs at the moment. I can get a couple of heat if all I want to do is make 2 stone when I get to the stone merchant. I will need 4 food, which I can get from sheep. I can now get myself 4 coins as well, can't I? That'd get me one of the stones that I need. But we could let the coins build up a little bit. So I could get livestock first. If I could get myself some more heat, then that I would be able to do more in one big go, wouldn't I? For my first action, I'm going to pop to the farm again, but instead of wheat, sheep. I'm going to grab myself some sheep. Let's head on over to the wheel. And I get myself 4 sheep. That goes back down to Nout. And I will grab 4 sheep pieces. Make sure they're not on their lamb side. You know, you process goods. You flip them over. We've played Feast for Odin, haven't we? We know about good flippage. Okay, so I have got an abundance of food right now, but it's just a good thing. Settlements are going to end up costing food. So I've got enough to just make 2 stone. But I could potentially, if I use all of this food up, make 4 stone if I get myself some more fuel. Say if I got rid of some more trees. Now the brewery is worth 7 points. So maybe I would want the brewery somewhere like here. Oh, it's a lot of steps, but I've thought of a way of getting a load of heat. In the building display, that peat coal kiln, you get a charcoal, you get a coin. Charcoal is half a heat, I believe. Oh, it's 3 heat. Why do I think it was half? What you get for guessing. And additionally, I can turn as much peat as I want into charcoal. But to do that, yet again, it's another kind of step back in the process. I have got to get some clay back and then build that. And it's all taking up precious spaces in my tiny little farm. So we can make it a bit bigger. Let's see. Gotta get the stone merchant. We've got to get the peat coal kiln. Yeah, the cloister courtyard. I'm suddenly realizing. Now, cloister courtyard is a way of getting a load of money. 3 different goods can be turned into 6 money because a coin is a basic good. I want to do all of the things and it's not possible. Just not possible. All of the things. We just do some of them. But we'll pick the best ones, right? Take my YouTube chat away from me. I gotta see that. Right. Stick with the brewery plan. If I went and got some clay, I would get 3 clay. And then next round, turn 1 of that into... Next round, cut the peat, which will be worth even more. Then build the peat coal kiln, turn that into charcoal, have tons and tons and tons of heat for days. Right? Is that a good plan? And I want this peat space for the brewery. Thinking the brewery could go there, be in between 4.7 points. Peat coal kiln could just go here, maybe. For its -2 adjacency, just not put a settlement anywhere over here. You got 444. Oh, not too far away. Ah, the play rates are on BGG. Nice. Good that they're still about. Must have got them from somewhere. I didn't have a copy of the game about or anything like that. It was all just downloaded and pieced together. Right. We're making a peat coal kiln diversion. And so I want to get some clay, don't I? I'm letting the peat build up. Going to get some clay. So I've got some sheep. I'm getting some clay as my second action. So over on the wheel, clay goes right back down to nothing. But I get myself 3 pieces of it. Oh, how the rounds slip you by. My workers aren't all being used up yet. So they stay where they are. The wheel churns away. Switch to the wheel, please. Don't quite press wheel hard enough. Of coins. Yeah, the resource wheel is a bit like Glass Road. Love how it automatically makes your bricks and glass. Beautiful little system. Then I want peat cutting, don't I? So first action is going to be cut. Sorry, Pete. I'm going to cut it and it goes away. Over on the wheel, we can see that peat is worth 5. Go back to 0 rather than remove it from the game. And I need to do a big lean and grab myself 5 peat. Now I could. How's the stone gotten in? You don't need to be there. 3, 4, 5. I could, thinking now, I could just skip a step, not have the peat coal kiln, and just use this lovely peat as heat instead. It would get me a coin, an extra charcoal, and charcoal is more and more efficient. But I need all of this space for stuff. I can't just keep doing it. I think we're putting the peat coal kiln back on hold. I'm going to go for the stone merchant. That is going to be the build. So, pop on over. Stone merchant just needs 1 wood, which I have specially reserved for it. I'm going to pop it there. Spend that wood. And my prior is available. I'm going to go wood crazy. So it is 2 food for each. So that's going to be 4 sheep. They are 2 food each. 4 of them. And then a heat for each. So I need to do 4 heat. I'm going to just spend heat for that. So 4 sheep, 2 peat can be spent to get me 4 beautiful stones. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which is going to be just what I need. Go and get my brewery at last. That's the end of the round though, isn't it? My workers all come back. Pop over to the wheel and have a look. The Joker is at 6. I could have used the Joker as clay, couldn't I? The Joker is at 6 now. The coin is at 6 now. Very nice. And my plan, I could just build the brewery, but I need wheat first, don't I? So, I could make up to 3 beers, couldn't I? I only need 3 wheat. But it's always nice to be able to just use the Joker, isn't it? Like, if I want to get myself some wheat, I can either just have 4 wheat right there, or I could use the Joker to get 6. I could just let the Joker build and build, though. It won't get any higher next round. Yeah. Could just keep using the wheat for now. But having loads of leftover wheat would be good for going back to the malt house and having this nice cycle of things. I'm going to use the Joker. Yeah, let's use the Joker and pop him down to 0. I'm coming to the firm and I'm getting myself some wheat, which if I can get it out of its little hidey hole, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Glass Road. I love Glass Road. But I do like that. I do like the predicting what your opponents would play and stuff, and trying to get extra actions in 2 players, which is what I mostly play anyway. It's you've got a lot more chance of playing your cards. It seems. But it is kind of harsh when it gets to the point that someone else has had a load more action. They guessed what you were doing, but maybe you were being too obvious. Christos, got to go back to work? Oh, no. Watch the rest later. See how I get on. Thank you for watching. Yeah, the resource wheel is in Le Havre in Lamport as well. There's tons of Uwe Rosenberg like kind of iterating on things, maybe. Using similar things in his other games, building on top of them. The stream's bitrate is too high. It doesn't need to be too high. That's good, isn't it? The quality is too good. It doesn't need to be this good. We're paying for this internet. Let's use it. Thinking like what was I thinking in the morning? Reykholt is kind of built on a lot of Loyang things. But then having certain combinations of resources and stuff was used very well differently in Hallertau, wasn't it? With the different resource buildings to give to. Newsfield is beautiful. And yeah, a very, very quick one. I don't think Rachel's a massive fan of trying to guess what people are doing and being limited in things. Just nice of just know the actions that you're gonna have and be able to is a big plus for Rach. Making me 500. We can do this, right? I've got upwards of 10 points right now. Yeah, Reykholt is. I just remember. Yeah, good, really good, really enjoyable. But there are so many Uwe games that I've got already, more than 10, that I've decided to keep. That I like far more than I did Reykholt. Yeah, didn't end up sticking around in the end. As good as I thought it was. So what are we doing here? We've just gotten some wheat. That was my first action of this round. Yes, Rach and I are possibly, I don't know how we would compete in it, but possibly even more Care Bear than Rado and Jen. Not even taking points and stuff, even in a zero-sum game. Don't want any of that in games. What am I doing? So I've had my first action. I've got all of the wheat. It's time now, isn't it, to, at long last, go to the buildings and build the brewery. Pop it in my nice little zone here. I'm anticipating a settlement's going to go there. Because we can, the grand reveal, spend our resources for it, 2 stone and a straw. Pop them in the right places. And my prior is available. I can spend my 3 malt and 3 of my wheat to produce. Drop some chits on the floor. We'll get those later. Where's beer going to be hiding? Beer's on the wrong side of something. Where's beer? Is it on the other side of course, it's on the other side. It's often on the other side of something that you're spending. It's on the other side of the malt, of course. So there is some very good heavy ale. So I get my 3 ale, and then, or instead, you can sell a beer, which I am going to do, to get yourself 7 coins, which is precisely the amount of coins to be able to afford a new what? Well, the smaller one anyway. So I could get this and have some coast and sea. For example, if I wanted to build the houseboat, it's just get 1 of each of these resources, though. Maybe the false lighthouse. It's a good way of getting you beer, whiskey as well. Or I can just have some hilly spaces to put just general stuff, and there are buildings later on that want to be next to mountains as well. Yeah, Marty will deal with those things. Where is Marty? See if he's knocked the Marty cam today. There he is. Never facing the camera. He was hanging off the... fell off the chair, really. Trying to hang his head off the edge of it, just to avoid being on the camera. Forgotten all about the Marty cam. We've got an hour without showing the Marty cam. So, yeah, let's let the relaxing sight of Marty breathing in and out help us decide what the next actions are going to be. My clergymen are not all in use. They're not going to come back. I am going to spin the wheel. There are still 6 coins available. We are about halfway, a bit more than halfway to the settlement phase now. So I have to start thinking. Hi, Mark. I'm sure Marty says hi as well in his own tired way. He's asleep. Put that dressing gown somewhere. He is likely to go there. That's my trick to try and get the Marty cam to work. So I've turned the wheel. I have gotten to the end of my planning, really, by building that brewery. That's as far as my plans went. So I can be thinking now, start to think ahead about the settlement phase that's coming up, because I haven't even used the opponent's buildings at all yet. So these are the 4 things I will be able to build. I am going to need the coast if I want to build that one. And I'm going to need some food and or heat, depending on which one I want to build as well. They're worth points themselves. They're worth points for being adjacent to other settlements too. His name is Marty. Like Marty McFly or Marty Hopkirk. I was thinking Marty Hopkirk when I named him, but it's more palatable and more well known to be saying Marty McFly. Randall and Hopkirk deceased, anyone? The Vic and Bob version, the definitive one. 60s one's great too. Although not that I've seen it since I was a child, probably. Yes, Marty is showing his paw. He's making a little bit of effort. Thor makes an appearance in Paul's video. You should have just let us believe that it was the Norse god. And we would have been even more excited when it turned out to be a cat. I love Randall and Hopkirk. I do really, really, really love it. Which is the reason I would have watched it at the time. 10 or something when that was on the telly. So, Marty, inspire us. What settlement am I going to go for? I can kind of be free to put these things out. I'm going to have to chop some wood down if I want to put one here like my plan is. If I want to be chopping wood in the future, I'm going to need to keep buying these new things. Do I want any of these other buildings before they go? And they don't go away. They're going to go onto the neutral player's board. And so I can pay him to use them in future. I don't lose them. It'd be nice to be able to turn the peat into charcoal, especially later on. It would be nice to chop some wood, wouldn't it? It would be lovely to have a houseboat. A houseboat is worth a load of points adjacency-wise too. Maybe I do have a wood available. I could buy a new plot for my 7 coins, all of my coins. And houseboat there with 6 points adjacency. Pop the settlement here. Get the Village des Pêcheurs. Fishing village? That could be something to do. That could be worth a fair few points. But the sea tiles themselves, even if you put nothing in there, the sea tiles have 3 adjacency points anyway. They just don't have any points themselves. I have to build up a fair bit of food and heat, but I have to do it by the end of the game. I don't have to do it by right now. I have to decide right now, really, whether I want to build that houseboat. Let's see. Everything would be quite nice, wouldn't it? The cloister courtyard could be really good later on for getting loads of coins. Costs 2 wood. It would be easy to get loads of wood right now. And maybe the first settlement I could build a kind of cheap one and pop it here. Sorry, I hit the microphone. Thinking about getting a different microphone as well. This one is amazing, but like any microphones like this, in the way a bit. Maybe we chop some wood. Now that's where a settlement's going. Maybe I could chop this and we get another nice building here, but I haven't got anything else to build here right now. Unless I'm going to put the peat coal kiln there, and that's a -2 to adjacency, so I don't want to put that there. This mic, I need a special mic for Marty, don't I, as well? The special treatment that if the table hasn't got some of the special treatment that Marty's getting. Marty's got an entire webcam far too good quality, really. Just be pointing at Marty, but he does deserve the best. He's got no lights, he's got no mic, so you can't hear him snoring. It is a Shure SM7B, absolutely fantastic. I had a Rode NT1 for that, which I still have down there, which was a massive step up from the cheap little lavalier mics that I used to have. But this is even bigger step up. I don't know though. Is it for the videos? It is when I'm editing it in my headphones. Sounds amazing. But once it's gone through all of the YouTube compression and stuff, it didn't make much difference. Thinking about getting a rather than the cheapest one that was available on eBay, which is just what I had when I very first started, and I wanted to upgrade from just the microphone that was on the camera, which is one of the worst ways you can record your voice. Get a nice lavalier mic. You can get nice ones, right? It's just that if you need to get it from the table, you're tied to it. Hey, let's get back to farming. So I don't think I want to get rid of this to have a space for the settlement. Do I want to pay for the neutral player to do something? I'm just doing stuff on my board right now. Oh, you've got a good lapel mic, Paul. I'll ask you about lapel mics. Saw an amazing one yesterday, but I haven't bought it yet. Not an XLR one, though. It was a lovely pro level mic, but I think the idea with a lot of these pro ones is that, say you were using them on a TV or a film set, the idea is they're going to get plugged into a wireless pack, which again would be absolutely fantastic, but yeah, it's a fortune. What am I doing? So I can only take one action in this round. I can only use one building because I only have one worker available. Yeah, Marty does need a mic. He's not purring right now. He is genuinely snoring. But I think Marty would allow anything as long as there's treats in it for him. He doesn't really mind. So we can do one action. It's not going to be anything to do with, say, we should probably wait on the Malt house. I don't need more stone right now. I don't think I want to block my... I could get the cloister courtyard if I go and get some wood, and I do need to chop down this thing. Is this where we were? Is this the point I was at? I'm going to cut down a tree. If we go back to the wheel, I get 6 wood for doing that. And if me having all the chits out the thing, let's not have the peat that's mistakenly in there. 2, 4. Surely a better way of storing all of the wood, right? I've got 7 wood now. Loads of resources. And then I was thinking about, wasn't I, doing the cloister courtyard, but I haven't got my prior available, so I probably want to wait to do that because I would get a free use of that cloister courtyard. So what do I want in the meantime then? What do I want to activate? There are 6 coins available if I come to my cloister building. When I'm on Multicam, there is some clicking and popping. Hang on there. Where is see, is Marty's camera's audio on? Is that why that's happening? I think maybe that's why. Oh wait. Oh, if only clicks and pops are coming through. That camera does have a microphone on it, but yeah, apparently it's just clicking and popping rather than letting you hear the sweet sounds of a cat snoring. Thanks, Peter. That should not have been putting audio out. Just me, right? I'll take over all the audio. Yes, I need to take an action. I want to wait to do some building. I don't really want stone right now. I could get myself 4 clay for the future. I could get myself 6 coins. And I could let it build up and build up and build up and build up. Now, I think having 6 coins is going to be great. And then we can use some of these coins to go to the builder's market or something. Do some things over on the neutral player. So I'm going to get myself 6 coins. So there's 5 wheat available again now. Because I used the Joker, didn't I? So I get myself 6 coins. Which is not bad, really, is it? I'm fairly well off as far as coinage is concerned. But I probably want to buy an extension now. I've got all of this funny. Does my audio go funny still when I go to that camera? Even me speaking goes funny. I wonder why that happens then. I've muted all of the other things now, apart from me. But I wonder why. Yes. I wonder why that's a thing. I'm just clicking random stuff right now. Just to see if this is any different to anything else. I don't think it should be. Let me aliens, yeah. Look at that later then. I'll let him rest for now. So I've gotten coins. I've done my 2 actions, haven't I? I put down trees. I did coins. I can now get my people back and return to the wheel of things. Get some more stuff. And now, if I still want to do it, build the cloister courtyard. I want to build all of the things. I like to look at the false lighthouse. I want to build everything, but hey, we should leave some space for other stuff. Oh, here's the resources and what's on the other sides and stuff. It's right in front of my face. Flicking through things, trying to find things out. So I do have 8 coins now, so I could buy myself the big extension. I want to be building out that way. If I really want to do, say, the fishing village or the false lighthouse or the houseboat or something, I could get myself some coast. I do like the idea of chilling out on the coast. I'm going to get myself some coast. Everything's meticulously planned out. I'm going to spend my 7 coins. That's a free action. You can just do that at any time. 1 landscape per turn. Sound is clipping the USB. Maybe it's like the USB that the camera's plugged, that the multicam's plugged into, or something like that. It is. Maybe they're plugged into the same thing. I'll see. I'll investigate. So, yes, we're going to a little holiday on the coast, and now I think I want to build. Tends to build the cloister courtyard. I could give up some, like, wheat and stuff. Although I could just gain 6 wheat, couldn't I? Go back to the malt house, make tons of beer. Combinations are endless. Although I could just get 6 wheat from going to the farm. There are 6 available right now. That could be my turn. Farm malt house, build something in the future. And then go to the brewery and spend all of this stuff. Get loads of things. Yeah, we could just do that for now. Does it sound alright otherwise, though? Oh, that's nice. The amount of technological messing about there's been with all of this stuff is immense. But yeah, especially trying to make the audio sound nice. What am I going to do? I'm just going to try and repeat my beer run again. I could get 6 wheat. But then you need wheat again, don't you, to go to the brewery? So it's not like just an easy chain. Let's think about having enough resources to build the fishing village and have the houseboat next to it. So let's go to the houseboat. Let's build the houseboat. No, Paul will never have audio issues ever. Live streaming always goes perfectly, and there are never any problems. So I'm going to pop this here. So the houseboat has 6 adjacency points. I'm going to spend a wood. Yeah, that's where the wood goes. And why not? Richard Pryor can get me that wood straight back, thank you very much. Gets me a malt, and a coin, and a peat. Oh dear, where's peat? There he is. And then, that's just one action. Second action. The wheat's not going to go up for a while. Maybe I'll go over to get some wheat. I could use the builder's market. Let's go and have a look at the neutral players board. We haven't seen that for ages. I get myself 2 wood, 2 clay, a stone, and a straw. The straw can be used for a little bit of heat. I feel like that's very useful at the moment. I'm doing pretty well with my resources for now. When he starts getting all of these other buildings, I'm probably going to be going there a lot. But for now, I could start getting some wheat. What would I have then? 9 wheat. And I could do, 4 at the malt house. I'd have 4 more ready for the brewery, for example, at some point. Yeah, let's go to the Verme. And how do you pronounce it? Is there an accent on the end? Well, there isn't written down. I can't remember doing the word farm in French. A lot of that has faded now. Ouvrez la porte. 6 wheat. How do you pronounce snow? Can't remember what it landed on in the end. I just said snow. But yeah, if it was just pronounced that way. Sneer. Like a northern way of saying like snore. Snore. Sneer. Right. What am I doing? I'm on a houseboat. I want a houseboat and a farm. That's my round, isn't it? People don't come back. Wheel keeps on spinning. For a new round, we are, 1, 2, 3, 4 rounds away from... Vowel is pronounced like the vowel in bird. Okay. Okay. 4 rounds to... It's like the EA in Learn. Yeah. Right. We need to do things. We're probably going to have to take an action over on Newtown because I've only got 1 worker. I don't really feel like getting peat or trees at the moment. I can get a decent amount of it, but I don't really need it. I don't particularly need that space right now. We want the fishing village. How are we going to procure a fishing village? Got a lot of food. Coins can be food, basically. Coins translate straight into food. But 5 coins is 2 points at the end of the game. And if we want to get to 500, we're going to have to buckle down and really do well on it. So if I want this fishing village, I'm going to need 3 heat, 8 food. Heat is pretty much sorted, I think. I've got peat, I've got straw, I've got wood. Food, I do have beer, and I can only sell 1 beer at a time. I've got all of this wheat now. Maybe we should start working on turning that wheat into good stuff. I can, of course, do a building as well, but I haven't got my prior available to build things. Thinking, what would I use? I could get some livestock, couldn't I? Out on the neutral players board. He's got the same starting buildings as me. I could pay him a coin, go to his farm, and there are 6 sheep available at the moment. That would probably be good. Good as a food source as well. Yeah. So I'm going to give you, neutral player. Oh, they just go back to the resource, wouldn't it? To put his apprentice over on his farm, and I am going to gain 6 sheep. I need to. At points like that, I always have to stop myself from going into playthrough mode where I would just like plump down silently getting these resources and things. Live, do that. And then second action, I can actually do something. So let's start back on the way. You know what? I could just turn all of this into malt. And then by the time I actually activate my brewery, I could go to a farm again. The Joker would probably have generated me enough wheat to go and get some brewing out of this. I always want, like the most, to get the most of these actions out. And I've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 right now. I have got 9 wheat. What other use have I got for it right now? I know you need it again for the brewery. If, let's say I'm going to get 6 wheat again. I've got 9 here. 5. Let's do 7 of it. Because I've already got a malt here. Yeah, and then we wait till the Joker gets to 6 again. Yes, I'm going to do 7 of this, so that turns into 7 straw, which I could just use for a load of wheat. And then I need to get myself 7 malt. I need to just have a mess over here, don't I, just off camera. Oh, not the beer side. Can't just give myself 7 beer. Okay. Yes, it is a shame to have been fired by Sandra. Yes, I only got fired once by Sandra, of course. Yes, it can be harsh working in the Kanban factory these days with Mr. Tortzi and Mr. Lacerda about. Yes, you cannot stop talking. Never leave dead air. That's the first rule, right? Of radio and TV production. Back to those college days, doing TV stuff. Right, I've been to the malt house. I made go to his farm. That's a round. My workers come back. Start of the next round. Got a place for them now. It's the place has been filled up with tokens. Wheel keeps on spinning. And there was a plan, wasn't there? Okay, so I was waiting another round, I think, to go to the farm again to get wheat, to then go to the brewery. I'm going to have plenty of food, plenty of heat to get that settlement out of. See, the other player can the neutral player can overbuild stuff, and will need to. Yeah, the peat coal kiln is nice. False lighthouse would be nice. It's decent for adjacency. It's 5 points for adjacency. I have the resources as a way of getting some beer and coins and stuff. Get me house pointer. Called a beer or a whiskey. It could get me. Why would I not take the whiskey? Try your whiskey. You're on the other side of something. I'm going to find it. Here it is. So whiskey is not as much food, but it is worth points, and it's the same as having 2 coins as well. Whiskey, and I can give away whiskey to use his buildings rather than a coin, because the price does go up once whiskies come in. Yes. Yeah, it's like a George Costanza situation. Once you've been fired once and you keep turning up for work, hope that nobody realised that you'd been fired, or that it was just a joke when you quit. Nice, Paul. Player aids all ready. You can use my score as a basis for what you need to beat. If we ever get any kind of score, I kind of want to keep building things, but it makes sense to just keep doing the supply chains and things, doesn't it? To build up while before these new buildings come into it. So I've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I've got 8 of that. I've got 2 wheat. So I was going to wait around to get more wheat and then do the brewery. We'll do that next round. What am I going to do this round then? I don't need to go to the malt house. I could get a load of stone. I don't really need that yet. Clay is building up. I could grab loads of that. Yeah, the top rank is called Musketeer. Hi, Steve. The top rank as well. I haven't checked the forums in the last week or so, but has that been achieved yet? It seems so incredibly difficult to get that, as it should be, I suppose, to reach the top rank in something. It seems so incredibly difficult to become a musketeer. What am I going to do this round then while we're waiting? I do have space on my coast. I do like the idea of a false lighthouse. I'm going to regret it later, aren't I? I'm going to come over, and it has to go on the coat. I'm going to build a false lighthouse. It's going to go down here. We're all building up for having some lovely adjacency over in this space. I am going to pay the 2 wood and 1 clay. But lying around everywhere. My prior is available, and so I get myself 3 more coins. And do I want a beer? Lots of food? Or a whiskey? Point, stroke. Use it as it's a point, it's 2 coins. And I'm going to get plenty of beer from the brewery, aren't I? I'm going to take it as whiskey. Can I take it as whiskey? I'm sure I can. Can I? Because whiskey comes into the game at a later point, doesn't it? But it's not like it comes out onto the board like when grapes come out. I'm going to assume I do. Hearing Paul's lighthouse. Yeah, Paul's lighthouse. The prior is in Paul's lighthouse. That's my first action. Second action, I need to do something and make it not really at all related to brewing and stuff. So again, I could get some stone, which I'm sure I'm going to be desperate for later. But I'm feeling pretty casual about it right now. I want to go to the brewery in a bit. I can get more hops from going to the houseboat and stuff. The builder's market is a nice way of getting a load of different things, but again, I don't really need any of it. Clay is building up. Heat is building up. Having more space would be nice. Hit it again. But I have kind of got enough coins right now too to keep expanding this and getting new places out on my board too, where I could get more trees and stuff. Because adjacency here would be decent later as well. Let's see. I could just use my clay, couldn't I? And just build this up for later. I'm going to need it at some point. So let's head over to the wheel. Second action, isn't it? I built Paul's lighthouse. And now I'm going to the clay mound. 3, 4, 5. This. Some of it stuck. My clergymen aren't all in use. The wheel turns, so 2 more rounds before settlement time, but I think we're sorted for it. Back over here. It's time for the plan, isn't it? Plan? I need to save someone for the brewery, so I need to pay the 1 coin. I need to pay the coin to make... Oh dear. I can't do this, can I? I'm going to have to wait till next round to go to the brewery, because the neutral player is still in his farm, because in the same way, his workers only come back when they're all in use as well. So I could pay them to go somewhere else now so that they'll come back when the prior gets used. But I'm going to have to spend a worker to go to the farm. Pop him there. I'm using the Joker, aren't I? To get the wheat. 6 wheat. Yeah, Richard Pryor is Pryor's in Paul's lighthouse. Pete's in the coal kiln. Not wheat? Yes, it is. It's just got a malt in it. See my chittery that's going on back here. 3, 4, 5, 6. I was very, very tempted. If the printer was out and set up, I was very, very tempted to print off resource tracks and stuff. As lovely as it is having loads of chits and stuff, it would have been very much easier for a playthrough. So I've done one thing, the farm there. I could build up some peat. I could pay the neutral player to do something else. What is it? There's a couple of things available. There's 5 coins available. I would just pay him a coin to go and get 5. Builder's Market would get me a variety of things. Those are my options. If I don't want to build something, because I wouldn't get the free use from my prior, I either cut peat, fell trees, or pay neutral player to be able to use his things. 5 coins is quite nice, isn't it? But I could just get 6 peat, or I could just let it build up to 10, though, because I don't need peat right now. Coins would always be useful, wouldn't they? Put 5 in a different pile. Coins would always be useful to keep buying more space. Because I can put the tiles above and below, can't I? I know that they can go... do they just go underneath? You can place districts above or below. Other ones, you decide which ones you want to use. Yeah, so they can go above, right? Get that back up. Yeah, so it would invade the resource area, but I could have stuff up here. It'd be good if I'm planning on putting a settlement there later. I think we could... Let's just pay him a coin for now. And send him over to his cloister building and get me coins. 5 coins. So I've got them about. That's another couple of points, even if I don't use them. Yeah, I think I'm happy not building those buildings for now. Think about which one I want to use when the dummy player builds them. Wheel. Turn that around. Got 7 peat available now. And we're going to have a settlement phase next round, right? So, this round... Oh, my workers should come back before I do the wheel. 1 is certainly going to the brewery, because I have got myself equal parts malt and straw, malt and wheat. So, I don't even need to count them out, do I? I just flip the malt over. As long as I'm sure that there's the same amount of each. Just flip the malt over and the wheat can go back to the thing. I've got myself loads and loads and loads of beer. And then I can sell one of those beers, which I will do. So I've got loads for 7 coins. And think about, probably want to buy some more space now. Put this right at the bottom, where the purple is. Probably going to have to switch to the zoomed out section at some point. And I can get the hilly area instead. These aren't worst points, of course, so buying ones that you don't really need. Not that advisable. Let's think, what would you like the final action to be? I don't want to use the neutral player. I want him to have his prior available so I can have a free use of one of these that he's going to build. So if I fell trees, I get 6 more wood. If I cut peat, I get 7 more peat. And you know what? This wouldn't be a bad place for a settlement either. It's adjacent to 7 and 5 points right now. If I put something good there later, get a really nice little network of settlements being put in. Yeah, I'm going to cut some peat. Get rid of that. What did we say peat was on? 7. Pop that down to nothing. And grab myself. Where's the peat? There it is. Got a bit of a stone incursion, but generally there's peat in there. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Grab some peat. Is that my 2 actions? That is, isn't it? Went to the brewery, put some peat. So, I don't get all of my people back. We go to the wheel, which knocks right into that great big settlement building. And so we need a settlement phase. So let me grab up my... Here is your reminder of how it works in the solo game. So, return all of your clergymen if they've... Oh, so I could have used the prior, because they all come back now. The same as if it wasn't a settlement phase. We pop this to the next letter. That's for a 2-player game. For a 1-player game, B is there. So quite close at hand. Then rotate the production wheel, which I've done. The neutral player builds all remaining buildings. So I decide where these go. He's not scoring points or anything like that. It's just that in the future it will be important. Which ones do you want to build over? He's never going to get new things, is he? Oh, he has the same rules on cloister buildings as well. But they have to be built adjacent. So just by chance, that has been done. So now I get the bonus of using his prior to be able to use any of his buildings. It's a newly built one, isn't it? So you can use one of the newly built buildings. So I can either take a charcoal and a coin and turn all of my peat into charcoal, which would be quite decent. Even better for just getting a load of peat. Or I could turn 3 different goods into 6 identical base goods. I think peat coal kiln, right? Because I can grab myself a charcoal and a coin. Nice to have. And then, how much have I got? The stuff that I'm doing. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And get 11 charcoal, which is only 1 more heat each. But I've gained myself like 14 heat from doing that. Some of these stacks are getting quite big. So, yep. Optional, use one of his new buildings. This might result in him now getting all of his things back. Carry out the settle. Oh, so yep. That results in him getting all of his things back now. Oh, I have to pay the contract price for using his building still. So there's his coin. Then carry out the settlement phase as normal. So we've moved the building to the next letter. Each player may now build maximum 1 settlement and buy maximum 1 landscape beforehand. So I am all into this fishing village, aren't I? It's going to cost me 3 heat, which can come from 1 charcoal now. And then, where's it gone? Where have I just put that? Oh, where have I put it there? And then 8 food. So it's the most efficient way of doing it is going to be a beer, a sheep, and a coin, right? That's exactly 8. Not overpaying, not wasting anything. I could use whiskey instead of a sheep, but whiskey's worth a point and a sheep isn't. Sorry, sheep. So that's how I'm getting my food paid. And that's just there. That settlement is there now. And we get brand new cards. I get myself a new settlement, Colony of Artists. So this is quite cheap to put down. Loses me a point, but is 5 points for adjacency for other things. That could be good next to another settlement. But for now, let's switch to the now empty building display and see it fill up again. We have the slaughterhouse where we can give up sheep and straw for meat, which would be kind of decent. I've worked up a lot of straw. I forgot myself some more livestock later. That would be quite nice. The scriptorium, which is quite good for adjacency. Turn a coin into sacred books, a meat, and a whiskey. The sacred site, get a sacred book, and then either 2 wheat or 2 malt, a beer or a whiskey. The cloister workshop, you can turn clay into pottery up to 3 times. It's needing a heat to do that as well. Get my thing up there. Yeah, so it costs you the energy each time, right? And or turn a stone into a lovely ornament and an energy. Sound of that. I like the sound of that as a cloister building much more than the scriptorium. Slaughterhouse and scriptorium, I think. You don't want, though, the slaughterhouse next to anything. I'm being alerted of things that I need to... Wow. Nice news. About the Valeria video. And I got an email earlier on about something I can't tell you about. But in a week we'll celebrate it, right? Ugh, I'm not good with secrets, so I'm good at keeping them, but not good at dealing with that. Right, so we're done, aren't we? We're ready. We need to buy some more landscape, don't we? I'm going to have to switch to my zoomed out view. Not zoomed out very far, is it? Sacred site is the thing to go for. Good adjacency. Does get you a fair bit of stuff. I like the slaughterhouse for making use of loads of stuff that I've got. Hi, Jake. Oh, by the way. I like a lot of these things. The scriptorium, I could take or leave, to be honest, right now. Sacred site, it's very cheap to get, isn't it? Just start prepping for the Q&A. Hopefully I'll be done by then. I hope so. I think we're chugging along more now. Thanks for being here, Paul. See you soon. Right. Yeah, sacred site is good for adjacency. We're going to need some more space, though, aren't we? It can go anywhere. That's why I was zooming out here at a certain point anyway. So I think if we buy a new thing, it's going to cost us 8 coins no matter what we do. So I am again back to being not very coin rich, but I'm going to pop that at the bottom here, anticipating a settlement here. Try and build up for that a bit. That does need moving up a bit more. We can move to the side. Oh, I'm sorry, Charcoal. I was hoping that you were going to be slid along. So you can get as well, by the way, off the Lookout website. I saw on the forums earlier today, they're back in stock. You can get thicker versions of this if you are someone like me that's got the old version. And it's, you know, it's very, very thin cardboard, which I know I've defended in the past, but certainly with our et Labora, they get very, very bendy. And so if they look a little bit of a funny shape on the camera, it's because they're very warped, even though they're kept really nicely, I assure you. Let's pop that up so it's... There we go, that's high enough. Am I covering up? Yes, covering up all of my resources by doing that. Move them all along. So that's going there. We're going to have to move the settlements and stuff out of the way a bit, but we can't have it all on the camera all the time, can we? We're just not going to have the space to do that. Player aid can move off for a little bit, though. So I like the Cloister Workshop. We've got so much of this stuff that we can be working with. I think on the reprint, they come with those thicker boards now. Cloister Workshop I like. I have my prior available, so you can go and do things. Let's get into this then. So adjacency is not that great, and it's not that great with the Cloister Workshop either. I'm going to go straight in here with a Cloister Workshop play. So I am going to pop that over here. Oh, that's the wrong button now, isn't it, for my player area? Use the other button now. That's just going to cost me 3 wood. Okay, I've still got 2 left. And then I can use it. I can up to 3 times. So grab 3 clay. This is going to cost me 3 energy, which I can do. Oh, yeah, thanks, Jacob. We need to put the heat and trees on the new landscape. Is that the side I want it on? So maybe we'll want some hilly places later on. So I am spending 3 clay and a charcoal to turn this clay into pots, which is worth points, 3 points each for those. And then I can turn a stone, which I do still have left over. Charcoal is going to bug me if it stays all knocked over like that. But it's kind of easy to see how much I've got, isn't it? I can spend a heat, so let's wood is building up again. I'm going to spend a wood, because that wood is only 1 heat, 1 energy, to turn the stone into jewels, which they can kind of all go in a category on their own of things that probably aren't going to get stuff done with them. But I think there's some exchangery and stuff that can go on with them after this. So now, it's time for us to wait. I'm not going to build anything else until I've got my prior back for the free action. So what would I like to get? If we look on over the wheel, we can see that there's a lot of wood available. I do want to clear spaces off my new board, don't I? If I'm getting the sacred site, zoomed in enough on this shot, but the sacred site's 6 adjacency points. That's pretty decent, isn't it? I probably want to clear that space out and get some wood. But if I want my prior back for next round, I want to do something that is going to use a worker up so I can get them all back. So that would be, if I could get 6 wheat from coming here, or 5 livestock. Pretty nice, especially if I'm getting the slaughterhouse, because at the moment I have got a ton of straw. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I've got myself 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 livestock. So it would be a decent time to get some livestock as well. The slaughterhouse isn't going to go anywhere near here. I want more coins as well, but that's going to take a big brewery chain again to do that, or we wait until it builds up on the wheel. I don't want to get wood or cut peat or anything yet. I want to get wheat or livestock, don't I? And it's always nice to let it build up and get more and more and more. I think I'm going to let wheat build up a bit. I'm going to get myself livestock. That's going to be 5 more sheep. Back to my player area once I've found them. I'll go in all in the other areas. 3, 4, 5. Loads of sheep, loads of food. And then, that's the end of the round, isn't it? So, clergymen come back at the start of the next round. Wheel turns. And we have had 1 full rotation of it. Okay then, the plan is, if we want to do the sacred site, we want to do the sacred site and put it here for its beautiful adjacency. The wrong one again, isn't it? I'm going to constantly press that wrong button now, aren't I? If we want it there for its adjacency, we are going to have to cut peat, and there is only 3 available, or 4 if we use the Joker. So not getting the most out of that, but how long do you want to wait to do these things? I haven't got enough money right now to be able to buy a new thing. I want wood if I'm going to build the slaughterhouse. Get loads of resources. Got an abundance of stuff, and I don't even need to feed people. Well, if you want to build a settlement, you do. I need then... Let's get some trees. I'm going to cut some trees. Action number 1. Cut these ones, I think. I don't want them anywhere near where a settlement is going to go. There is 7 on the wheel. Let's grab them. Loads more wood. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Loads of tokens. And then my other action. Am I putting a slaughterhouse there? Because I kind of want to... Always going to press the not zoomed in one now, aren't I? I kind of want... If I go on the actual thing and swap them around, there we go. Then I'll press the right button. So I'm putting the slaughterhouse there because I kind of could use this as, keep building the cloister buildings out, but we can also buy one of these later on, the way of building cloister buildings out. I'm not too bothered about having the scriptorium yet. I have my prior. I'm going to, because we've only got a few rounds as well. I've got 3 more rounds before the rest of these buildings get built. So I'm going to build the slaughterhouse. Sorry, sheep. I need 2 wood, 2 clay. And then my prior is available. It's going to come over here. That is going to be... I'm not quite going to get to use all the sheep. I'm just going to compare size of part. Oh, I've got just enough because I've left 1 sheep behind. There we go. So sheep and straw. The straw gets spent. The sheep get flipped over into meat, which is a ton of food. Great for buildings later on too, but if I want to use like the stone merchants, fantastic for all of that. And, you know, the waste, the extra thing I got from the malt house, which I just wanted for the malt, is now being used for something. That's 1 action, isn't it? Is it? I did trees and then this, didn't I? This round. I've done 2 already, I think. Chat, correct me. Have I done 2? Tiny bit of cold tea left. I think I need a new round. Let me know if I'm wrong about that. Spin the wheel. And then back over to me. So I want to build the sacred site. I've got the stone ready. All I need to do is clear the peat away. But I kind of want to wait till next round to do that, when there'll be 5 peat for doing it, rather than just 4. And I want to use these workers as soon as possible, so I'll get my prior back next turn. So this turn is just going to be about actions, isn't it? I don't have wheat, but I could get it by coming to the farm, which is probably the best thing to do, and then I could start the big brewery chain again. Get some more coins. I kind of want to do the cloister workshop again, but when I do the cloister workshop, I want to use the stone as well, but I'm going to use the stone on this getting the sacred site, which costs a stone. So on the wheel, we have 7 wheat. So let's knock that back down. And all of these wheat tokens that I just put back, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's get them out again. And then I need another action. Gonna take a worker. Just grab myself 3 coins and a whiskey. Could get 5 coins just for coming here. I don't want it to be someone else's action. I could go to the malt house. Just flip them all. 5, 6, 7. Could let them build up later on. Yeah, that's probably a decent thing to do. Let's go back to the malt house. Flip them all over. Just counted them. I'm going to have to count again. 7. Get myself 7 malt. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh no, I didn't grab it. 7. Okay, so they are... Yeah, they're getting ready. Got some more livestock and stuff. I can do the slaughterhouse again. That's the end of the turn. Turn the wheel again. 1 more turn till all this goes away. And so... Oh yeah, the start of my turn, all of the people come back. And I want to cut peat. So that is going to get me 5 on the wheel. Pop that back down to 0. Get myself 5 peat. Big reach. 2, 3, 4, 5. And... yeah, I just did that to clear a space, didn't I? I didn't particularly need the peat, because the thing I'm going to build is the sacred site, which costs me my last stone, but that's okay. Briar can just head on over here and get me a book. You're on the other side of a coin, aren't you? Yes. Get myself a holy book. Do I want 2 wheat or 2 malt? Definitely between beer and whiskey, I'm going to take whiskey. Because better, innit? Where is it? Where is the whiskey? Found it earlier. It's on the other side of something, I can guarantee you that. I've looked on all the things now. I think this out of wood. Last place I think it was. I suppose it is wooden barrels. So do I want malt or straw? Or malt or wheat? If I get more malt, I'll let the Joker build up and get the wheat from that. How many would I need though? I wouldn't be able to get like 7 of it, would I? I think it's got other uses as well, hasn't it? So let's get some wheat. What do you reckon? That's 2 actions again. So hurtling through this, we go to another settlement phase. Get my quick summary of the settlement phase again. Return your works if you need to. Rotate the wheel. Done it. Neutral player builds all remaining buildings and has to go adjacent with his thingy buildings. Oh yeah, I've got coins available, luckily. This is when I get to use the thing, isn't it? Yep, I can use his scriptorium, give him the contract price for this coin. And so the building is pay a coin, which I need to do as well, to get work, the other side of the coin, a meat, another whiskey. Remember now, the other side of wood. Got 3 whiskies, loads of meat. This might result in him getting his things back. So we need to do some actions with him now so he can get his prior back before the next settlement phase. So we can use his building for free again. And then carry out the settlement phase, yes. So move the building marker to the next letter, which is, see it? It's over here. Then each player may build maximum 1 settlement. So which settlement am I going to go for? I can afford pretty much anything, can't I? The Colony for Artists is not great. The Quartier Pauv isn't great. The Bourg, maybe. Costs no heat, 7 food. Which... What? Whiskey gets me food, yeah. So I could just spend, a meat or a beer as 5 of that food. Whiskey I don't really want to spend. Coins I don't really want to spend. I could just spend a livestock. Or I could spend the 2 wheat that I just earned. Livestock is building up again. I'm going to spend the 2 wheat that I just earned. I think. Yeah, so that's... Or I could build the... Maybe it would be easier. Build the village agricole. But then I would be overpaying a bit and I don't want to. So now I'm gonna stick with my original plan. I'm gonna put a Bourg there because that is adjacent to 7, 12, 18 points right now. If I can get something good here, I cut some trees next time, it'll be fantastic. Then the next step is new cards out. So my next settlement here, the village. Oh, it's expensive. Good for being next to a settlement as well. Maybe I want to put the village there. I don't know though. 9 energy, 15 food to get that out. And then new buildings. See what we've got. The refectory. Get a meat and a beer. And additionally, turn up to 4 meat into pots. I quite like that. Got a lot of meat. Grand Manor, which is a whiskey to use any occupied building. It's worth 18 points. And has 7 adjacency points as well. Well worth doing, I think. Keep going. The castle can only be built in the hills or the mountains. And it lets you build one of your own settlement outside the settlement phase. 15 points and 7 adjacency points for that too. And then finally, the cooperage, where we can... What is that? Just spend 3 wood. Can't remember what that does. Let me scroll down. Cooperage. Oh, 3 wood. Use the Joker to take beer or whiskey. Okay, the cost is 3 wood, and then you use the Joker marker to take that many beer or whiskey. That could be pretty good because the Joker marker is on 6 right now. Where are all these things going to go, though? Castle's got some good adjacency. The refectory would be brilliant, and I can afford it right now and get some clay later. My prior is gauged, though, so let's go to the turn. I want to grab myself some clay from the clay mound. That is 7 clay. Is not too bad at all. And got enough to do the refectory now, and I don't need more space for it. I can build adjacent to my things. I also want to keep the beer producing going so I can get some coins to be able to afford extensions. But I could just get some coins for that. What if we did that? Oh, the Grand Manor wants 20 coins, doesn't it? That's the cost of the Grand Manor. The refectory, I definitely know I want to do. I'd let the coins build up to get 1 more. What would I do in the meantime, though? I don't have rocks. And if you want to do the castle, you need rocks. Let's go get some stone. So if I want 5, which is the cost of the castle, and maybe I want some for the cloister workshop and all of that jazz, I'm going to need 10 food, which I could get from beer. I haven't got a beer just yet. And then I'm going to need 5 heat. Well, charcoal is 3. Heat is 2. There we go. So spend them. And that's going to get me... What are we getting here? Stone. 5 stone. I do that. 2, 3, 4, 5. We also want to be using as well, don't we? So we get some back. Back at the wheel, I get my people back, of course. And at the wheel, we get some more stuff. Then, so I'm going to build the refectory now, I think. I've got the wood. I've got the clay. Spend them. I'm going to pop the refectory here. We don't want anything adjacent to the slaughterhouse anyway. This would be quite nice adjacency-wise, wouldn't it? I'm going to pop it there. And Fryer is going in it. So I'm going to get myself a beer and a meat. Beer, meat. Turn 4 meat into clay pots. As if by magic. 1, 2, 3, 4. There is 12 more points. Some points of pots. Okay, now I've got to think of a second thing to do. I do want a castle. I want a castle. I want to buy... The plot for the mountains has gone down, though. It's only 6 for this next one. I could get a mountain and get a castle in the mountains. And you can potentially, have 2 settlements next to that are adjacent to the castle. I don't know why I'm picking it up and putting it next to the other camera shot. For its 7 adjacency points. We build it for the Grand Manor. The cooperage as well is fantastic. The Joker marker has gotten quite high up. I was building up for that, but I need coins. We need coins. So we are going to come over to the cloister building and grab 7 coins. Coin marker, not the Joker. We want to leave that up. 5, 7. And we're going over here. Nothing else. That's the round, isn't it? I built the refectory. I got some coins, I think. We're still at the wheel, so I can turn that back. And what have we got now? I want to use another person so I can get my people back. I want to use a neutral one as well, so that I can get his back at the time. What do I want to use on mine particularly? I've got stone, I've got things. Maybe I want to go to the cloister workshop, keep on working on them points. Sacred Site's nice, but not quite as nice for those things. Yeah, I like the idea of going to the Cloister Workshop. I've still got enough clay to build the cooperage. 3 clay and 3 heat will get me... Yeah, I'll do that. That will get me the 3 pots. And then I'm going to turn a stone with 1 heat, which I will take from... Yeah, I'll take from the wood, turn that into the ornament. That's just 1 action, wasn't it? And then I have got enough to buy a new place. I think I'm going to have to move things over to the side at some point, aren't I? I need to pay for a neutral building. I don't particularly want much of what he's got, though. I could give up, like a peat, a charcoal, just 3 different things, a peat, a charcoal, and a clay, to get myself 6 more coins for going to his thing. I'm not sure how much I particularly need that, though. There's 6 livestock available at the moment, which is decent for this, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So next round I could get livestock and then go to the slaughterhouse and get the most out of all of that. I want to build the cooperage. I want to do all of these things. Heat coal kiln is not that much. It gets me my coin back, but yeah, it's not really. I've got like 4 peat that I could turn into charcoal. I don't particularly like the builder's market. He's already on the scriptorium. I don't want more clay off him. I don't want his action, basically. What I'm saying. I can't use any of my own right now, though, so that's okay. I don't want to build anything yet. I want to pay him for something. So let's get his coin ready. And pay him to use... Wait 1 for the livestock. Let's use the Cloister Courtyard. And yeah, I will give up those things that I said. I don't want to give up a wood, because that's building up again. Give up a wood, a clay. Maybe not. Yeah. Clay, a peat. Get all these things back. And back in there. And get 6 identical basic goods, which is I could get 6 clay, wood, heat, livestock, and wouldn't need to get it off the wheel and could go straight to the slaughterhouse next time. But it is just giving me meat, which... Oh, and then I can take the meat to the refectory. I see all of that now. I'm going to get 6 coins, though. Because I need to buy some more landscapes. I think it's going to involve a lot of resource jiggling about, isn't it? So back to the wheel. That spins. And we're 3 rounds away from doing another settlement. Are we? No, that should have moved. I've put the wrong buildings out, haven't I? Oh dear. How are the takebacks for this going to work? I've grabbed the wrong stack of buildings. No wonder the village was so expensive. I grabbed C instead of B. We should have. Could I have built something comparable to what I did build? Try and fit in the last 2 turns of take backitude. So I've got ammo, which is a bit easier to build than the C one is going to be. In the buildings, what have we got? Got the chapel. I have got stone. Say we did that instead. Yeah, so I didn't get a beer and a meat and turn 4 of that meat into pots. I need to get 4 meat back. And that can And then 3 clay instead of 2. I need a wood back. Oh, the take backing of it all. And then 3 stone is spent. So I built a chapel instead. And when I built the chapel, do you know, I spent a coin to get a book. And I also 3 times spent beer and whiskey to turn into, where are these? These are on the other side of 5 coins. Magical lamps. You heard it. Magical lamps worth 8 points each. Be on my playboard for this, really, shouldn't I? Okay, so that changes things. I've got it does make sense now that there was such a jump in the costs of everything. So the buildings available now, the whiskey distillery. So now, from now on, I'm going to flip this over. From now on, whenever I want to use his buildings, it's 2 coins to pay, which I have used one of his buildings, so I'll get rid of another coin there retroactively. And so I've got the shipyard, can go on the coast if I build some more coast. 2 wood into an ornament, and that, and some coins. Oh, 5 coins. Ooh. I would need some more clay. I've got the stone that I need. It's worth 15 points and does not want to be next to anything else. That would maybe not be an issue, actually. Quarry is where stone comes into the game as well. So stone came into the game. Like, there isn't a stone marker, is there, in the solo game? I'm pretty sure. Oh, is it when it's built rather than when it happens? Okay, I'm having that coin back then. Thanks, Jacob. I could build the whiskey distillery, but I have got... Yeah, the brewery isn't worth points, though, is it? The whiskey distillery I could afford to build. I have got a lot of hops. I could get some more wood. I could get some more peat. I wish I hadn't thrown that peat away now. The shipyard I like. Just, yeah, I've done things that I probably wouldn't have done now. I messed up. I can't get any more peat as well. Ooh. If I want to be whiskey distilling, I need to build another big thing, which will be good. I need to build another big thing and put it on that side. That's the only thing that's got peat on it. Yeah, these other things haven't got peat. And there aren't great ways of getting peat other than that. I'd only get 5 right now. You can do that as many times as you want to get 2 whiskey at a time. Maybe I won't build the whiskey distillery, but he'll build it. And I could use it from there. I think what I'm going to do is, this is going to... Let's have this be the resource area, rather than just the settlement area. Get away in the way of one of the settlements. So I am going to need just space, aren't I, everywhere. Space, space, space. Build another coast, can't I? Just up above. Fencing things in a bit here. They'll be okay. I do have all of my coins here. I could spend 6 coins. Build a new bit of coast just there. Is going to need some zoom outening, isn't it? Just zoom out more than that. See all of the stuff moving around. Should have known it was going to get this big. There we go. That fits in. You can see the buildings from here now. So I can spend 6 for that. There's no restriction right on I have to build a central one first or anything, is there? Yes. You can put them above or below, even if they don't touch the heartland. So that's that. That's my first action, isn't it? And I want to do some clay. that my first action? I think so. I think something's getting messed up at some point here. So I could pay him a coin to go and use his clay place to get me, quite see the wheel, 4 clay. Although the Joker's building up, I could get 8. No. I could maybe use that for coin. I get 4 clay. And then, start of a new turn, my workers come back. The wheel rotates. We've got 8 on the Joker right now. 2 rounds away from, well, we've just got this round, haven't we? Settlement next round. I'm only going to get to build a bit of this anyway. So you can use the quarry, but in the solo game, but you have to use the Joker marker. The stone marker doesn't come into the solo game. I think anyway. I want the shipyard though. I want to put it up there. Shipyard for 1, 2, 3, 4 clay and a stone. Just about enough of. And I can only do it once anyway, so I don't need more wood. I like that. I am going to spend 2 wood, grab myself an ornament, and 5 coins. 5 coins, possibly the most exciting part of that. And then I've got a load of straw. I could get a load of livestock. What do I want to do as my other action? Where's my settlement going to go? Which settlement am I going to build, and where's it going to go? Probably there. Which did I want? The Hamo probably. Only costs 5 food, which is neat. And then 6 energy is 2 charcoal. That's fine. Oh, the Hamo is good when it's adjacent to other things as well. I can afford a landscape as well, can't I? Next turn, maybe. I could build something and not get the use of it, like a quarry. But a quarry wants to go in the mountains, and I haven't built one of those yet. So, let's see. I've used all of his workers now, so he would have them back. Same time I got my workers back. If I wanted to use anything of his. I don't think I particularly do. What have I got? I've got that sacred site, which is quite nice to come to for some points. I can clear out the trees. It's 7 wood right now for doing that. Just get myself some more whiskey. Which is good, you know, if I want to go to the chapel and do that thing again. But then, why don't you just get the whiskey distillery? It's 5 adjacency points. Would I be able to build that next round? I wouldn't be able to use it, would I? Because my friar would be in use. But I do have the clay. I do have the straw. I could put a whiskey distillery down, say, there. It would just be a bit of a waste because I wouldn't get to use it right away. So what if I fell trees as my second action? I could always build it, and there's my second action, use it. Bit wasteful, but there are ways around things. So I can get 7 wood there. That's what it said on the wheel, honest. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I want to do that just because I want the space. I want it to go there, I think. So, new turn. I don't get my people back. We move. We are near another settlement phase. And it's time for me. I can put the whiskey distillery on the coast as well. It could go there. Just, you know, save it in case there's another coast-specific thing I want to put there. Just in case. Let's build the whiskey distillery. Or do we want... First up, let's spend 7 coins, right? 2, 3. Get myself a new zone. A little bit. Oh, not that side. I want it the side that will get me some peat. So new peat there. New trees there. Then if I want the whiskey distillery and not your man over here, ooh, I could use the quarry when he builds it and use the Joker and get like 9 stone. That'll probably sort me out for the rest of the game. Just thought. I'm going to build the whiskey distillery. Pop it there, say. So that's 2 clay, 2 straw. And then I can't use it because the prior is still on the shipyard. Do I just use it? Have I got... I can get 6 whiskey. Saying I can't get that much use out of it, I can get a lot of use out of it. It would be much better if I could use the... Let's see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 malt and only 3 peat. Yeah, let's get some peat first then. Second action, I will get some peat. So that is going to be... Far off the wheel, are we? 6 peat. It's not too bad. And then next round, I'll use the whiskey distillery and get tons of whiskey. 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we can use that and the previously made beer. Although there's not a lot of beer left, actually. Make some more beer at some point, but that uses all the malt. Because we can keep going to the chapel and turning the whiskey and beer into those lovely lamps. Okay, so that's 2 actions again. Over on the wheel, we start a new settlement phase. So again, take me to the last page. So clergymen, no, not all of them are back. Rotate the production wheel, I've done that. Builds all the remaining buildings, just going to be the quarry and pop it there. His prior is available, so I'm going to use it. Now, I've built the whiskey distillery, so I've put the price up. Oh, bye, Paul. Thanks for joining in. Have some good guitar teaching time. And yeah, tune in to see what score I managed to get. I've only got 4 coins. 2 of those coins have to go to him. I can spend whiskey. I haven't got any right now. So I can't. In theory, I can use it. And then I can use his quarry, because we'll come to the Joker here. I'm going to get myself 10 stones. Some getting, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What settlement do I plan to build? I can afford anything, so that's not a problem. I was thinking the ammo, just because it's worth the most points, but it wants to be next to things as well, doesn't it? Got good adjacency points. So if I put this here, maybe I would want another settlement here later. Because it's next to 745, which is quite nice. Then it's got decent points itself. Have I done all of these steps? I've got my 10 stone. Doesn't get his things back. Then do the settlement phase. Move the marker to the next thing. I've done that. Build a settlement. So let's do the ammo. It's 2 charcoal. Possible to build them all by the end of the game. But yeah, because I can get the castle, can't I? And that to build some more if I want. So that's 6 energy. 5 heat can just 5 food can just come from the meat. And then that's built. And then pop the buildings out. We've seen all of these, haven't we? It's not a surprise anymore. I don't need a specific... So there's the village, the really expensive village we saw earlier. I don't specifically need a building shot, do I? If I bring these low enough, we can see them from here just as... Are they zoomed in a bit more on the building shot? They are, aren't they? Maybe I'll leave that in there. So, we've seen these. It's not as much of a surprise, is it? Although, actually, we haven't seen these because I flipped them all around. They're the French sides of them. But the Irish sides we've seen. And, oh, I like the look of that refectory, turning all of this meat into pots and whatnot. Okay, so it's turn time, isn't it? I want my prior back before I do any more building. I wanted to use a whiskey distillery, didn't I? I got loads of stuff for doing that. So it's going to be... got 7 malt. And then I will get 7 of my wood and 7 of my... peat. And so that turns into... each of these conversions of these 3 things turns into 2 whiskey. So I've just got myself a load of point stroke food there. Come in there, and then you're all spent. Go off to the negative zone. Then, what would I like to do with my other worker? Because I want my prior back as soon as possible. See, we could come to the chapel again. Now I've done this. I've got 3 beer. I've got 3 whiskey. So maybe I'll come to the chapel. I can spend a coin. We're not in danger of losing any resources here. Spend a coin to turn that into a book. And then 3 beer, 3 whiskey gets turned into 3 more lamps. So that is, what's that? It's 24 points of time doing that, isn't it? There's nearly 50 points just sat in that lamp pile there. That's my 2 actions. Then over on the wheel, turn that. I've got 9 livestock. We need to think about grabbing them off, especially if we're going to into the slaughterhouse again and doing all of those things. The cooperage I was really excited about, wasn't I? Because you can just spend 3 wood to get maybe 10 whiskey or beer out of. The cooperage could be a good way of getting beer now and not bother with the big brewery chain. But I don't know if it's ever going to get to a point of being worth me building it. It's probably going to be a good one for the dummy player to have. I need some coins if I want to afford a mountain to put the castle on. Although it can go on the hills, can't it? It doesn't need to be next to a mountain. I think only the quarry so far has absolutely had to be on a mountain. It would be nice to put it somewhere where it's going to matter, because I've got tons of stone, haven't I? I can get some more wood, no problem. Don't worry about that. Only 4 at the moment, so we could wait for that. That could be the last thing we build before the wheel goes round. I think I want to build the refectory. Yeah, I'm still hung up on the refectory. And to do that, I'm going to need clay. I haven't built up that much clay yet. There are other ways of getting clay, of course, but I've got loads of whiskey now, haven't I? I've got loads of whiskey that I could pay to the dummy player to use his building. It is a point of time, I suppose. But I could spend 2 whiskey, and that would get me, 2 wood, 2 clay, a stone, a straw. I don't know if that's that worth bothering with, actually. Could just go and get the clay normally. But I do want to use his buildings, don't I? So I'll be able to use, say, the cooperage if he builds that. So I'll pay him a whiskey to use his worker to go and get me some clay. Get me 5 clay off the wheel. How's Marty doing? Is he still on the Marty cam? There he is. Still making the sound go weird. Do apologise if so. I don't know what's causing that yet. Have to do some investigation. Flip back to me though. Flip back to the farming. What do we need? To scroll it back so I can see the chat. Stop scrolling away. We've got all our workers back, so I want to build something. I paid him to get me clay. Is that the only action that I took? Yeah, because I want to build the refectory, don't I? So I'm going to build the refectory. I'm going to go down here, not getting me any adjacency bonuses though. Oh dear. Can I? I can't really get. I can get 6 coins doing the action from the wheel over here. When I build new things, can they be offset? Yeah. Yeah, so I could build a new mountain space and put it like that. So I could still have like some kind of adjacency. I could put something here for 8 points, and then the refectory is 5 adjacency points. Castle could go there, and then that's 7 points. Yeah, I should have built one of these earlier and put like the chapel up there, maybe. Then you could have a settlement there and the castle there. It seems a shame to lose the adjacency of that, but if I want to build these things and get the free prior uses out of them, I'm going to just build 2 clay and a wood for a refectory. It's going in its spot. Prior's going over there. I get myself a beer. The only one I've got right now. A meat, and then convert 4 meat. 4 meat into 4 pots again. 12 more points. That's it, isn't it? I got clay. I built the refectory. Wheel turns. I need to build my workers if I want the prior back. But I need wood for the castle. I can get wood in the turn that I get the castle, can't I? I need to use 2 workers this turn. So I could. I haven't got enough beer to make use of my chapel. I can afford to spend a stone and go to the Cloister Workshop and get some points. Yeah. I'm going to go Cloister Workshop. That's going to be 3 clay and a stone. I need 4 heat, which I could get from... If I'm not bothered about the straw, am I going to be getting more animals at this point? I'm going to spend 2 straw as the 4th heat that I need. And so the clay turns into more pots, and the stone turns into another ornament. Points, points, points. And then... Oh, the shipyard's available, isn't it? Oh, I need wood, though, to use the shipyard. I need to pay him something. I need to pay him to do something. Oh, it's not the settlement phase yet. I don't need to pay him right now. I need to do something of my own, don't I? Something. I have to do something of my own, absolutely. If I could just get 3 coins and another beer, work me towards using the chapel again. I haven't got peat and stuff for this. I want the wood to build up a bit more. Oh, and I want to use a worker. How many more times do I have to say it to myself? I'm going to get 3 coins, and let's get a beer rather than a whiskey. In the hopes that we use the chapel again. 3 coins and beer. Then, that's it for that turn again. Oh no. Okay. Maybe take back time. Maybe we don't want to do... Is it that bad? So what's happening right now is what I'm worried about is if the wheel is allowed to turn at this juncture, then I will lose the sheep marker forever. I can still get sheep with the Joker, but that's my only option. Is that going to be such a bad thing? Because I can turn meat into pots, yeah. I have already got, 4 meat. Is there anything in the D's that's going to be that crucial? I don't think it is, Maybe we stick with the plan. I'm sticking with it. Sorry, sheep. This is only in the solo game. If the thing is allowed to... Normally, it just pushes the marker and you stay at 10. But in the solo game, I have lost the sheep marker. I've been very bad sheepman. Oh, yeah, no, yeah, I could have got sheep with a marker. So I get my workers back. We move the marker along. And I want to build a castle. Oh, I can do it, can't I? So this costs 6 coins. Do I want to build a castle? I think a castle would be useful. I don't need to build anything new for a castle, do I? I can have it on these spaces up here. So I need to get wood first. And I probably want something, settlement here, to take advantage of the castle 7 points. The malt house is 4 points, maybe. I'm going to get wood first. That's going to be 6 wood over on the wheel. And where is it? Here it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. And then I'm going to build the castle over player board for 6 wood, 2, 4, 6, and 5 stone. 5. And just thinking, you planned this out right? You're building a settlement now, do you realise? Yeah, I realised that. So we could just build the Quartier Pauvre, because that doesn't want to be adjacent to things itself. It's -3 adjacency for it being adjacent to other settlements. But it still gives you, the rewards for putting these things out. It's just 1 and 1 then. Or I could build village recall, 3 food, 3 heat, 3 charcoal. I've still got all of this charcoal hanging about. And then 3 food. Just pay a meat, overpay. So what gives you 1? No. If we're doing that, I'd rather build the village. Go crazy. That gives you adjacency points itself, so you probably want another settlement next to it. Let's do Quartier Pauvre. I could just do a coin, couldn't I, as a food, and then a wood as a heat. Pop that there. That's another 11 points from adjacency right now. And one over here. Cheers. What? And right, so I've built a thing. I've got another thing that I can do, and I want that to be over on the neutral player's board, so I will get to use, say, the cooperage right away. I don't have leftover wood, do I, to use that cooperage? So don't worry too much about that, but I could use the Grand Manor to use an occupied building and do my castle again, for example. So to be able to do this, I need to give him 2 coins to be able to use his building. Although maybe I want to just use whiskey, because I've got so much of it. Use a whiskey. And what do I want him to use? I could get myself 7 coins. I could go to the scriptorium. It's a little varied amount of points. I would get my whiskey back by spending a coin. I think, no, let's get some coins. I'm going to, onto the wheel. 7 coins right there. 5, 6, 7. So that's my 2 actions. Stay on the wheel. And a little list. His clergymen have all been used. They come back. Then rotate the production wheel. Here we go. Neutral player builds all remaining buildings. He's getting to use 2 this time. He doesn't need to overbuild anything still yet. I've built a lot of the buildings. Then I can pay him the contract price. I'll pay him 2 coins to be able to use 1 of them. Now, I don't have 3 wood, unfortunately. So I will use the Grand Manor, spend a whiskey to use an occupied building. The only occupied building on the board is the castle. So build one of my own settlement. I was ready for this, right? I am going to go for... And I could, build the village. 9 heat is 3 charcoal. 15 food is 3 meat. And then pop it there. It's 6 adjacency points for these other settlements. And that's what I'm going to do. Oh no, I've got wood there though. Good plan for the future maybe, but not for right now. I could pop just the village agricole, which is 1 and 1 in a normal adjacency place. Try and get something good there on the coast. That needs 3 and 3. So 3 is just a charcoal. 3 is going to be a sheep and a coin. Is that right? I think I've done all of his steps. Oh yeah, no, this isn't even my settlement, is it? Oh no, where am I going to put the other settlement? I could put it next to the castle. So then, I've activated this thing, then carry out the settlement phase. The house goes to E. That's the end of the game. Got this many rounds till the end. And then, I get to build another settlement from these that are left. I could just... Yeah, it's going to be good adjacency when the... Great adjacency once that wood's gone. Get a nice space. Maybe I just want to put... What do I want to put here? I want to build a settlement. I can either put one here, which is going to be 10 adjacency points, but I'm using settlements that are quite good at being adjacent to other things already. So maybe I just want the colony of artists. If I pop it there, I get 5 points there, 5 points there, and 6 points down there. -2 for the shipyard, +3 for that. I think that's a really good shout. I think put that there. It's losing my coast space, but I can always buy another. That costs me 1 heat, which I'll do 2 straw again. And then 5 food is going to be a meat. And then new things come out. The final things of the game. The settlement here is the village à flanc de Colin. It's 30 food and 3 heat. 30 food might be tough for me to do. Some more beer, maybe. Especially since maybe I'll have to use the Joker to get the livestock. Maybe shouldn't have let that go. So if we look at the new buildings, we have Bulwark, Festival Ground, House of the Brotherhood, Round Tower, Sacristy. So the Sacristy is what I need to have, isn't it? You're basically turning a book, pots, an ornament, a lamp into 30 points. And separately they are 5, 9, 17. So you are almost doubling your money on that. Oh no, I've just used the straw. Well, I can get some more straw back, can't I? From places. I'm sure I can get straw from somewhere. I could just get wheat and then flip it straight over into straw if I wanted to. That has to be priority, I think. But then the round tower, 5 coins and a whiskey and 14 points. Makes 30 points. What's that mean? What's the round tower mean? Spend 14 points. How do we spend 14 points? Oh, on coins and things. Spend 14 points worth of goods to get 30. Okay. I like the Sacristy better than that. The House of the Brotherhood, pay 5 coins to get 2 points per own cloister building, which with this would be... Oh, it's 1 point each in the solo game, represented by... And you get your points from all of the... these tokens, the pots and things. Festival Ground, pay a beer to get a point per moor or forest that I've still got. Got 1 right now. And then the Bulwark is a free district and a free plot. So the Sacristy absolutely number one mega thing. But yeah, got a lot of good adjacency. I've got all of the things for that, is the thing. I do have some coins, and I've got whiskey. Let's see. Yeah, it's about the same, isn't it? You're giving up 16 points to get 30 there as well. So turn, I'm going to need some straw if I want to build the sacristy. I also need somewhere to put it because it's a cloister building and it has to go adjacent to these cloister buildings. I want to get some wood, but I will wait for that. Okay, first action, I've just noticed, needs to be that, I think. I'm going to get 10 for it. And it's out of the game if I don't. And there might be a situation where I want some more wheat. I'm going to grab 10 of that. And I can, as a free action, anytime, as many times as I want, just turn wheat into straw. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And this could be good as food. I don't want it for anything else. So I could have the resources I want for the sacristy right now, but I haven't got my prior available. So let's think about this. I don't want to chop the trees down yet. I am going to get one more bonus at the very end of the game where he builds something and I get to use it. Let's see. Oh, the Bulwarks bonuses get a free district and a free plot. Wow. That's both of these things, isn't it? That would look great right about there. 6 adjacency points next to 3 settlements. Round Tower would be nice, but that wants to be on hills. Festival Ground is nice, but yeah. If we use the Joker that's on 5 right now to get wood, free up this space to do the bulwark, but I need clay for that. Got any clay all of a sudden? Let's, for now then, before we do any chopping of things, let's make stuff worth more. I only need 4 clay if I want to just do the bulwark. Let's get some clay. Clay is on 4. Could wait. Do something else. Could get a load of malt instead of the straw. Is malt worth? Malt's still worth food, isn't it? Just gain me the straw, so I don't have to flip it and lose anything, and then I could still go to the brewery later on if I end up getting wheat again. Get the beer that I need to use the chapel and stuff. I do need one more beer. Or I could just go to the refectory for now. That would get me the beer that I need. Yeah, let's go to the refectory. Gets me a beer and a meat, and turn 4 meat into 4 pots. So many pots. So many options, Peter. So much to be thinking about now. Okay, that's my 2 actions. So my people come back. The wheel turns. Sorry, Paul, I'm not going to be done by 5. Go as quick as I can. Still got to think about these things, though. So there's now more wood available and more clay available. But if I wait another turn, there's going to be even more clay available. I probably want to build the sacristy, though, right? I don't need anything for that. I can just say that that's that. Oh, it's because I didn't want to buy a plot. I wanted to get a free one from the bulwark. But I need to get clay and get rid of this wood first. I need wood too. So that's 2 actions before I even get to build that. And am I losing opportunities? I've decided that I am losing opportunities to build things. So I'm just going to pay 6 coins. Maybe we won't build the bulwark at all. I'm going to pay 6 coins to pop this here. Oh no, it needs to be adjacent to this, doesn't it? Pop it down here. 6 coins. And then my first action for the turn. Not the best game if you've got AP. I'm not great for it, but I am... I'm better when people are waiting for me. So, Sacristy is getting built. I've decided it's going there, because that would be decent for adjacency. Only 2 things, I suppose, but it's alright. Friar's going on there, and I'm spending... Where are they? Book, pot, ornament, lamp, for a 30-point wonder. And then I've still got an action. I've got my beer now. I do want to use his things so that I can get my stuff back, but we'll see about that. I can come to the chapel and turn a coin into a book again. And spend 3 beer, 3 whiskey. And turn that into... What's it on the other side of? Oh, the 5 coins, isn't it? And get 3 more lamps, 24 more points. Decision made. And then, that's my 2 actions, isn't it? Wheel. That turns back to me. I do have to clear this at some point, because I have to put something there, even if it's like one of these settlements. Something has to go there, because whatever its adjacency value is, I'm going to get 3 times that already. 3 settlements pointing at that. Okay. Nothing else can go on the water, but they are just 3 points anyway. I've got 1 more use of something. I don't want to build anything right now anyway. Round tower would be alright. That could go on. That can't go on the mountain. It could go on the hills. That's some quite nice adjacency. And I could spend. I've hardly got any coins, actually. Let's try and get some coins. There's only 4 available from here. I want wood. Do I want wood to build this? Or do I just want to build... I don't think I want to build much more than that, you know? I don't know if I want to build any of those buildings. I suppose the House of the Brotherhood now, I would have 6 cloister buildings, so it's 5 gold for... It's only 6 points though, isn't it? It is earning points, don't get me wrong. Maybe it would be worth doing, but I don't know if I want any of these things now. I definitely want to get rid of these trees. That's only 4 wood, but it's something. And now that space is ready. 3, 4. I then think I want to come to the Malt house and before the end of the game try and brew some beer again, because I need 30 food if I'm gonna build this village, and I have cut off my way of getting livestock. So I've got a load of this though. How many have I got? 3, 6. I've got 9 malt now, which I could if I wanted to. It's wasteful using whiskey though, isn't it? But whiskey's loads of points. It would be loads of points. It's 8 adjacency points. So it's 3 times. And then that would get the adjacency of all of these. That is -3. It would be better to have something there that doesn't want to be adjacent to stuff. Do I have enough turns left? I don't know. That's 2 things, wasn't it? That. And the tree. Yes, that's 2 turns. How many turns have we got left? 2 actions now. 1, 2, 3. I don't get actions at the very end, do I? Turns onto there. That's it. Oh, there was a bit in here somewhere that said the end of the game. I'm sure there's a bit in these rules that I can't quite see. That I think... Oh yeah. In the last round, carry out your turn takes place between rotating the wheel. So I do get that last turn. And then he builds all the stuff and I can use his thing. Bulwark in the forest space. Use it to get a district and a plot. And round tower on the settlement position on the hillside. Bulwark in the forest space. There. Get a district. Yeah. Oh, and round tower there. Oh, point the camera there. Round tower like down below here. To have a nice settlement there for 759. Ooh, I like that. So I've got the wood that I need. I haven't got the stone, but I can get it. Got the books that I need for that. My people need to come off. Right. Think about this. I'm gonna have to zoom out even more. Okay, I need 3 clay. Got the wood for that. Clay is at 6 right now. I could just go and get it. I probably want to pay him some coins, but I haven't got any coins. I could pay him a whiskey. I've got plenty of whiskey. Because I want his people used up. But I probably want to use him for the quarry and use maybe the Joker, which is at 7, to get 7 stone. I was thinking of using, the cooperage. Get beer and stuff, but it's probably not worth it. I'm going to pay him. Use his quarry. I have to use the Joker marker. I'm going to get 7 stone. Maybe we'll find a use for it by the end. 5, 6, 7, because the round tower is 4. And I am going to get... I could do that in a future turn control. I've got time to do that. Let's not do that yet. Take back. Let's this round go and get my own clay, because that's on 6. So I can get myself 6 clay. Just thinking of getting the most use of the prior. I don't know if I'll build more than these things anyway. 6 clay. I can spend 4 of that and 2 wood. Prior is a bit of a panic there. To build bulwark. And prior can go on there. Give up a book. Get a free district and a plot. So this is going to have to... We're just going to have to go to, like, the whole table shot for this, aren't we? It'll be alright. Going to get messed up a bit. Not too much. Just to be able to... Yeah, I think. So I think we are going with Jacob's plan. Shift all that up there. Up enough now? I think just about. Just about for where we're going. And then the district, it doesn't really matter, does it? Maybe up there. It doesn't matter at all, does it? That's where that goes. That's that. That was 2 actions. Wheel turns. Tom needs pay a whiskey to now use the neutral player's quarry. Still only get 7, but I'll do it now. 5, 6, 7. And I think you should go to the north. So quarry, first action. Use the quarry. I need to think about getting food. Well, I was brewing beer, wasn't I? I need wheat again. We need to maybe wait until the market goes up at once more, or once or twice more, to try and have the food for this village. So I've got now the food that I need, but I want a free use of it, and I need coins. So, worker, the monastery, please, to get me 6 coins. Then, that's 2 actions, right? I got the wood, I got the stone, I went to the monastery. Back to me. They come off. I'm going to build the round tower down here. And that's going to be 4 stone. And then I spend 5 coins. So prior goes on there. 5 coins, barrel, and then 14 points, which I can just do 8, 11, 14. I'm not going to use all of these things anyway. To get myself another 30. Then, that's just 1 action. Do we need to be thinking about stuff? Now, the wheel's only going to turn 1 more time. We're not going to get more wheat than this. Is there a better way of getting the food? I don't think there is. 30 food. So I would be able to make 6 beer, which is 30, isn't it? That's the 30 food right there. Don't sell 1 for 7 coins. Okay, we'll go get some wheat. 6 of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 again. And that's 2 actions, isn't it? Is it? No, that's 1. No, I built the round tower. I got wheat. That's the action. So I've got 1 more turn. So go over to here. I didn't use the neutral players things. Could I have? I could have, instead of using mine, I could have paid him a whiskey to use his instead, so that he will get his workers back, because he's got a farm just like me. Then rotate the wheel, and I take my turn before he builds things. So I'm coming to the brewery, I think. Be able to get this 30. You know what? If I'd done like 1 less, I would have 1 less thingy, but I would have that. Yeah, I should have. But yeah, how far forward can you plan? So I can make that 6. Yeah, I can make 6 beer. That is the 30 that I need. Can I afford to sell 1? I do have. Yeah, I've got 5 from meat here. I'll sell 1 for 7 coins. Always seems good to have 7 coins. And then. Oh, I need more. We're doing the village, though. Oh, what do you reckon? The village is 8 more points and potentially more adjacency. I haven't lost anything. I've just gained 2 extra food, haven't I? Selling the 5 for the 7. What should my last action be? Should it be going to the castle, building one of my own settlements? Oh, I need things on here, don't I? Forests. Any cards on my thing? What do you reckon? Last action. Castle is going to be... I've still got charcoal and stuff for the heat. I'm not worried about that at all. I've got 10, 20, 30, and 3 for this. And then I've got 9. It's just getting the 15. Got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 12, 13, 14, 15. I wouldn't be able to use one of his things. I'm going to take that back, actually. 2 extra coins back. I can't do anything with them, though, can I? You can't... I've got just enough. I think all my resources, I've got nothing else lying over here that will get me food other than the coins that I have. So, let's see. I'll go to the castle for my last turn. I've already worked out the costs and stuff. I'm going to pop the village down there because this one here gets you more coins for being adjacent to things. And maybe I'll just put that next to a existing settlement. Oh, so maybe, like, I would probably have wanted this the other way around, right? So it would only have 1 card on it. So I could put it like there, so it would get its adjacency points. Is that what you were thinking? So then he builds his neutral buildings. I can't use them because I don't have a beer or 5 coins. If I took that back, I would have 2 coins, but they're not. Can't use them for anything. Then I could use his thing, but I can't. So that's just the end of the game, right? Hilltop. Oh, this has to be on hills. Alright, so we could put it like there. And it would still get 10 adjacency points. Yeah, that's okay, isn't it? Shame it can't go on mountains. So, yes. Settlement phase, we don't do any of the other things, do we? Because this is the end. I pay all of my stuff. Yeah, I think it's the same, whether the village or this goes there. It's the same, isn't it? The same points. Isn't it? Right. We can move to... I don't know if I can move my arm round enough to do this. I should have this superimposition. See my 2. See what's left of my 2. Oh, there we go. All zoomed in and nice. Who's playing? It's still Tom. Can he... Oh, he can't write his name as neatly. I am reaching right over. That's my excuse. So, this, I believe, means adjacency points for each of your settlements. So we would just want to see the entire table, don't we? I can't zoom into the top bits enough. So where does the thing go up to? You just can't see the very top row, can you? So basically, adjacency for this settlement. Next to it is -2, +1, -1, plus 6 plus 3. So we are at 8 for that settlement, I believe. So 8 there. Then we can come downwards. The village agricole there, I get 5, 6, 7. So that's 18. Pretty nice. That's looking a bit better. Poitiers Pauve gets me 6, 7, 4. So what is that? That is 17, isn't it? Then the Hilltop Village here gets me 7 plus 3, 10. I've got the Fishing Village, gets me 5 plus 6 is 11, 18, 23. The Hameau gets me 6, 7 is 13, 17, 22. The Bourg gets me 7, 12, 17, 23. And the Village gets me 7, 12, 21. Oh yeah, there is. Last time I played it, I built all the things as well. So, look at the screen to add things up. Why not? 26, 30, 43, 53, 76, 98, 121, 142. Not quite as good on the adjacency as last time, but hopefully better on the things. There's points for buildings, I think. I don't know what agglomerations are. And here we've got points. Oh, for buildings and settlement, that means. Oh yeah, settlement. Agglomeration is settlement. You need to know. So for that, we've got 15 for the top. Definitely just getting a calculator. For my other hand, 15 minus 1 plus 1 plus 8 plus 15 plus 10 plus 4 plus 4 plus 9 plus 3 plus 5 plus 6, nothing, plus 5 plus 2 plus 6 plus 7 plus 10 plus 3 plus 8 plus 10 plus 4 plus 8 plus 6 equals, if my right hand is right. What, is that right? Have I got 334? Oh, because I'm adding them up, aren't I? I can't have gotten 334. I've gotten 157, haven't I, and added it onto it. I'm using this as like a running total thing, I think. I definitely didn't score 334 there, did I? Whew. I got 148 there. Which isn't looking like I'm getting too many points, to be honest. Let's see. For my... We can ignore everything that's not worth points. Right, we get... Yeah, we get absolutely nothing. Oh, remember, wine and whiskey is not only worth a point, but also a coin. I haven't got any whiskey. So that doesn't matter. So I've got 60. 8, 4, 5. So that's 40. 48, 56. 116. 128. 134. Then 134 to remember that. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14. That's that 30, that's 42. That's 176 from there. I think this is decent, isn't it? I've never gotten 176. Is that right? I had 134 before then. Following my maths, was I right then? When I was counting it all up? I suppose, yeah, I've got 56. That's 116 straight away. 20. 34, yeah. 134 plus 42. So, yeah. So if we add all of that together... Oh, no. It was looking promising. It's the best on this sheet. It's not quite the mythical 500. This camera's way too far away from me to reach this. 466. So the closest I've ever been to 500. But yeah, it's still a way off from me. So there we go. That is a longer than expected, but hopefully incredibly thorough playthrough of Aura et Labora. Where, thank you for sticking around, the people that are still here. Longer than I expected, almost as long as Mage Knight. Yeah, my highest score ever at Aura at Labora. Thank you very much for joining me for this. Well, made possible thanks to my Patreon down there. If you would like to sign up and get early videos and be on the Discord and vote for games and stuff, but most of all, help make these things happen. Thank you to all of the patrons that are out there. Thank you very much for watching this. I will be back on Friday at 2 p.m. again, BST, for The Gallerist, Vital Lacerda. I think my favourite solo Vital Lacerda still. At 2 p.m. on Friday. So join me for that if you're about. Thank you very much for watching this, though. Head over to Paul's live Q&A if you're still about. Thank you for watching, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye. It was going to be so smooth, but I couldn't find the button. Bye!